Three Counties Radio.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: Wickham vandalism linked to death of local man, 2 men stabbed in Bedfordshire street fight, and Harrison Ford survives LA plane crash.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Police in High Wycombe have stepped up patrols after 2 nights of vandalism against cars. More than 50 vehicles have been sprayed with graffiti and had their windows smashed in attacks thought to be linked to the death of local man Habibullah. More from Jane Killick.
The graffiti read NJNP, which is believed to stand for No Justice, No Peace. It follows an inquest this week which ruled the death of Habibullah was through misadventure. The 39-year-old father of 3 died after being stopped and searched by police in 2008, and the family say they will continue to fight for justice. 4 men have been arrested and bailed. 2
men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday evening. Bedfordshire police say they were called at 7:20 after reports of a large number of men fighting on Hartwell Drive. 2 men were stabbed with a knife before the other men fled the scene. The actor Harrison Ford has been injured when a light aircraft he was piloting crash-landed on a golf course in Los Angeles. Witnesses said the Indiana Jones star was alert and conscious after the crash but was badly cut. Patrick Butler is from the local fire department.
I've been on several plane crashes, single engine, small personal aircraft, and normally the outcomes are fatalities. So yes, we are very thankful that the passenger, from what we appear right now, had moderate injuries.
A report into care and standards at Milton Keynes Hospital says it requires improvement despite being rated good in some areas. The latest Care Quality Commission findings highlight accident and emergency services and medical care as not up to standard. More from Carol Abercrombie.
The Trust was rated good in 6 out of 8 areas but still has an overall rating of requires improvement. The Trust Chief Executive Joe Harrison acknowledges that A&E and acute medical services come under most pressure due to increasing demand. He said they would use the report as a springboard for continued positive change. The report is based on a 3-day inspection in October.
Research by Oxford University suggests that immigration has pushed up the population of England by 565,000 in the past 3 years. It estimates that every local authority has seen a population rise, mostly driven by immigrants from within the European Union. Drivers are to get a 10-minute grace period before a parking fine is issued. The Communities Secretary Eric Pickles says he wants to end the war on drivers. More from Victoria Fritz.
As of next month, councils will find it far harder for their wardens to fine drivers. The government is set to end years of complaints by banning on-the-spot fines for being a few minutes late. The use of cars equipped with CCTV to automatically issue parking fines will also be banned, except in high-risk areas such as bus lanes. The government is also reminding councils not to use parking to turn a profit.
The weather cloudy with some occasional sunny intervals. A maximum temperature today 11 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Hello, kids. Hello. Wherever did you get to last night?
You won't believe me if I tell you.
Well, I know I won't, but here, go on.
Well, I met a fella.
A real smashing fella?
He was 6'2" and a door when he twisted.
Did you go outside?
Of course we went outside.
Well, I hope you resisted.
You hope I insisted. Wait till I tell you what he did.
We didn't.
Didn't what?
Oh, you know, kids.
Well, the night was kind of coldish and the stars were sort of bright, and he took me in his arms.
Oh, I bet he held you tight.
Oh, he was not like any other fella that I ever knew.
Yeah, come on.
No, I can't.
Oh, go on, come on. What did he do?
He taught me to yodel.
Oh, what?
He taught me to yodel.
Oh, now I've heard a lot. You can't tell me you spent all night without a single kiss.
I can't tell you.
I'll say you can't.
Well, get a little load of this. Oh, dear lady, oh, lady, oh, dear lady, oh, dear lady, oh, lady, oh, dear lady, oh, lady, oh, dear lady, oh, dear lady, oh, lady, oh, lady.
Yeah, Vinyl Friday, guys. What you going to do about it? Morning, Iain Lee, BBC Three Counties Radio. It's Friday. It looks like we made it once again. Coming up on the show... Well, all of the music's coming from records. No doubt we'll be talking about this 10 minutes grace parking. And also, World Book Day yesterday. Did you send your kids to school dressed up? Maybe you're sending them dressed up today. Well, would you send them up as Christian Grey with cable ties and a blindfold? Some mum did, and now she's upset her boy's going to be expelled. Good for them, I say.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Kath's wetting herself.
We've been sent some audio from a listener. It's not that.
What's that horrible noise? Who's that?
That's me bashing the
Okay,
intercom.
what have you been sent?
Well, someone's remixed my track.
Oh, really?
My Sweet Beats that I laid down the other day.
From your group Wow?
Yes, and it's actually pretty good.
You say it's pretty good?
Well, I mean, he says by his own admission he knocks it out in a very, very short period of time. So, you know. But he's done it, and so maybe we'll debut it later on.
Can you either turn that Geiger counter off or get rid of your radioactivity?
Whenever you open my mic.
Sorry, we're having problems here.
Okay, don't worry. I can sort my way around this. Hang on a second. Let's hang on. We can make this work. Right. Oh, hang on. I can't. Oh, right. Oh, wait, let's have this.
I am flowers.
This is the weird bit on that record I was telling you about.
Buddha, come in and sit with me beneath the magic lotus tree.
It's worth it.
The smell of incense fills the air. The temple bells call us back to mourn the leader of the pack.
Is she really going out with him? Well, there she is. Let's ask her. Betty, is that Jimmy's ring you're wearing? Mm-hmm. Gee, it must be great riding with him. Is he picking you up after school today? Mm-mm. By the way, where'd you meet him?
I met him at the candy store. He turned around and smiled at me. You get the picture?
Yes, we see.
That's when I fell for leader of the pack. My folks were always putting him down. They said he came from the wrong side of town. They told me he was bad, but I knew he was sad. That's why I fell for the leader of the pack. I had to tell my Jim you withdrew. He stood there and asked me why, but all I could do was cry. I'm sorry, I heard you, leader of the pack.
Sort of small. Kissed me goodbye. The tears were beginning to show. As he drove away on that rainy night, I begged him to go slow. What he heard, I'll never know.
Look out, look out, look out, look out! I felt so helpless, what could I do?
Where's Dealey? Dealey. Dealey.
Remembering all the things we've been through. In school they all stop and stare. I can't have her tears, but I don't care. I'll never forget him, the leader of the pack.
Oh, 8459 455 555. Can we get a list, please, of songs about people dying or being very, very seriously injured? Could we do that, please? Let's compile a list this morning. Songs about people dying or being very seriously injured, Justin.
I've got one for you straight away.
Yes, boss.
Terry, Twinkle. That was about her boyfriend dying in a motorcycle crash, and it's actually a great song.
Beautiful. It goes on the top 10, the morbid top 10, Justin.
Yes.
08459 455 555. We've got lots of work for you today, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Keep
And
on your toes.
Story about this youngster, 11 years old, going to school dressed up as Christian Grey. That was the sort of thing that I would do at school.
What?
Yeah, brilliant.
You're having a laugh.
Well, I think some of the extras he took in was probably what landed him in all sorts of trouble. But the picture in the papers today, it is just pure genius.
OK, we'll talk about that later. Also, what do you do in front of your mirror? But, serious story first. Police have been stepping up patrols in High Wycombe after 2 nights of vandalism in the town. They believe the spate of damage to around 50 cars is linked to the recent outcome of the inquest into Habib Ullah's death. Justin, what damage was done to the vehicles?
Well, it was the first spate of vandalism happened on Tuesday evening. That was sometime between 7 and 10 p.m. 23 vehicles there in the Cressex and Booker area of Wycombe. They were damaged. And then on Wednesday, another 30 cars were damaged in the same area. One of those cars, Ian, is a police car. Now, the vehicles had windows smashed and graffiti sprayed on them. Some of it read NJNP, which stands for No Justice, No Peace.
OK, so it says that, but it doesn't mention specifically Habib Ullah. Why are they linking the two together?
Well, because that slogan is one of the slogans used by Habib Ullah's campaign group, which is why the police are linking this to the recent outcome of the inquest into his death. But they have spoken to his family and the campaign organisers representing them, and they've stated clearly they do not support these acts of vandalism whatsoever.
In fact, the family say that they've held peaceful demonstrations, haven't they? And they're not into this kind of violence and aggression. It's nothing to do with them. What are the police doing about it, Just?
Well, the police, 4 men aged 26, 27, 19 and 18, all from High Wycombe. They were arrested on suspicion of criminal damage in connection with the incident on Tuesday. They've been released on bail. However, Wednesday's incident, no arrests have been made in connection with Wednesday, but the police do say that they are reassuring the community, as they do. Extra patrols are currently taking place in the area to prevent further crimes of this nature taking place.
Justin, we'll speak to you at about 10 to 7 with things people do in front of mirrors. Is it clean?
Yes, it's clean. It's from the people of Barton in Bedfordshire. You know those people. They are clean people.
Thank you very much, Justin.
Is it all in that pretty little head of yours? What goes on in that place in the dark? Well, I used to know a girl and I could have sworn that her name was Veronica. Well, she used to have a carefree mind of her own and a delicate look in her eye. These days I'm afraid she's not even sure if her name was Veronica. Do you suppose that waves in hands are eyes Veronica gone hiding? All the time she laughs and throws and shouts her name and steals her clothes. Town all a while. Will you wake from your dream with a wolf at the door, reaching out for Veronica? Well, it was all 65 years ago when the world was the street where she lived, and the young man sailed on a ship in the sea with a picture of Veronica. I'm the Empress of India, and as she closed her eyes upon the on the bones of last week's news, just spoke his name out loud again. Do you suppose the waves and hands and eyes Veronica gone hiding? All the time she laughs and moans and shouts her name and steals her clothes. Veronica, Veronica. have a carefree mind of her own, with a devilish look in her eye, singing, you can call me anything you like, but my name is Veronica. Do you suppose the raging hands and eyes are all the colors gone to hide her? All the time she laughs with those who shout her name and steal her clothes. Veronica, Veronica.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's looking quiet so far on the motorways. The M25, no reports of any problems. On the M1, there's roadworks going on between Junction 2 for Five Ways Corner and Junction 4 for Edgware. There's speed limits of 50 miles an hour while those roadworks go on, so that could cause some things, cause it to be slower than usual this morning. On the M40, that's looking fine, and looking at the speed sensors in High Wycombe on the A40 Oxford Road, there's no delays at the moment through the roadworks, but they're in both directions at Oxford Street, so that could cause some delays later on this morning. And in Hitchin, a reminder that on Cambridge Road there's roadworks at the junction for Willen Road. No reports of any problems so far on the trains. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties
Thank
Radio.
you, Sammy. 6:16. It's Friday, the 6th of March. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. Police in High Wycombe have stepped up patrols after 2 nights of vandalism against cars thought to be linked to the death of local man Habib Ullah. 2 men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday evening. And Han Solo has been injured after Harrison Ford after he crash-landed an aeroplane on a golf course in Los Angeles. What's they got to do with
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Morning. There we go. Now, health watchdogs have criticised standards at Milton Keynes Hospital. The Care Quality Commission says A&E services and medical care fall below the standards they would expect. So it's given the trust that runs the hospital an overall requires improvement rating, even though it did do well in other areas. Well, Catherine, you've been looking into this. Tell us more about the areas MK Hospital has been told to improve in.
Well, this comes from October last year when the Care Quality Commission inspected the hospital's core services. Each one was giving a rating from inadequate to outstanding. Now, urgent and emergency services, or A&E to me and you, and medical care were given a requires improvement rating. Now, following the inspection, the CQC's told the trust that runs the hospital it must take action to improve in a number of areas, such as making sure that patients' privacy and dignity is maintained in the A&E department, making sure the correct safety checks are carried out before operations.
What?
Yeah. Making sure patients are transferred from the medical assessment unit to an appropriate ward within 72 hours. But it wasn't all bad. The CQC found areas of outstanding practice, including the care delivered by staff working in bereavement teams.
What have the hospital said?
Well, the chief executive of the hospital, Joe Harrison, acknowledges that A&E and acute medical services come under most pressure due to increasing demand, increasing numbers and very sick patients, and difficulty in discharging medically fit patients into community settings. We've spoken about this before.
Yep.
What they're referring to largely is elderly people. He said that they would use the report as a springboard for continued positive change. But Louise Davis from the Milton Keynes-based campaign group Stop Poor Care isn't surprised the hospital have made what she calls excuses for their failings.
Oh, I do apologise. I've just skipped completely past that as I was preparing for the next bit. Sorry, Catherine. Let me just... that would be this, yes.
The hospital have had problems with providing services for a number of years, and that's been highlighted in many CQC reports. I think now it would be a time that government are involved to consider possibly changing the way services are accessed in the area for patients, and maybe possibly refer patients to alternative hospitals where they can get better treatment and care.
Now, I should point out that Louise Davis used to work at Milton Keynes Hospital, and she says she's witnessed many failings. She just believes that patients deserve better.
The staff were friendly and helpful and worked good together, but then there were flaws with staff. I noticed they didn't perform very well doing certain tasks, and there was a lack of empathy and compassion towards some of the patients that they were either treating or approaching in different situations. And I found over the time that no matter how good I provided, a good service to those patients, even just booking them in for an appointment, other members of staff didn't seem to have much interest, and I felt that there was a lack of urgency, not just towards patients, but even myself when I've been in that hospital. There's a lack of urgency, and there's always a delay in treatment or care. And it's such a shame because patients, deserve better.
What have the CQC, the Care Quality Commission, been saying about their report?
Well, their Chief Inspector of Hospitals, Professor Sir Mike Richards, said, and this is a statement, the leadership at the Trust has given us assurances that it's making the necessary improvements, and we've already witnessed some of these in action. People deserve to be treated in services which are safe, caring, effective, well-led and responsive to their needs. We'll continue to monitor this Trust, and we'll return to carry out further inspections to check on what improvements have been made.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Payola, the old payola continues. Yeah, I took a bribe. And I'm not. Yeah, I took a bribe.
Oh, yeah.
I took a bribe. We went to the excellent, I can't remember what it's called, but we call it... Well,
Andy's shop.
But it's not called Andy's Records. It's Vinyl Revelations, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And I took a backhander from him. He gave me a backhander. I found a record... And he said, I tell you what, if you play that on the air, you can have it for free.
Yeah, I wonder why he would give you a record. Could it be that because it's a Mexican version of hymns?
It's called Hymns Tijuana Style.
Yeah, I think I know what.
Listen to your favourite hymns vividly recreated with the sound of brass. Well, let's hear just what that...
Let's see why Andy wanted rid of it.
There we go. There we go. The Battle Hymn of the Republic. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I'm going to go back and give him £20. This is the best thing ever, isn't it?
I feel like I'm in a supermarket in 1950s America.
The singing of hymns has always formed a part of Christian worship. Over the last century and a half, this has been more so than ever before. And today, it is in hymn singing that Christians most fully participate in public worship. But the quality of almost anything can degenerate through excessive use, and even the most popular and best-loved hymn tunes can become hackneyed and trite. Music is a language, and as such, its idiom can become dated. Hymns Tijuana Style, as the title implies, is a collection of melodies which have become popular in the worship of Christians of all traditions. But it's a record which may bring you up with a jolt. For this is a virile reinterpretation of your favourite hymn tunes in a popular rhythmic idiom.
Wow.
some of you may agree with me when I rate the arrangement of Jesus Christ is Risen Today as the best interpretation of that tune I've heard in years.
Some won't.
Well, let's find it. Jesus, track 6 on side 1. Track 6, side
Wow.
1. Jesus Christ is Risen Today, Tijuana style. This is brilliant. Here we go. It's good. This is the notes were written by the Reverend Michael Clark in 1970. This is all right, isn't it, Kels?
I'm loving this.
Hang on a minute. Let's get to.
Oh.
Sorry. Side 1, track 2. Onward Christian Soldiers. Here we go.
Right, we all know that one.
Here we go. Tijuana style. Oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
Out to war.
What can you tell us about this one?
So tell us, Ollie Martins, how's the referendum going? Gavin Shuker, what are you doing about Luton? David Lloyd, nice. So tell us about when you first discovered you were losing your sight. That is a great... Oh, Andy, I'm coming back. I'm putting that £2 in your hand, fella. That is a great record. This is a fine little collection, isn't it?
You've done Andy there, haven't you?
Hey!
You've done him.
Thank you, Andrew. Excellent stuff as always. Oh, look.
That's a glockenspiel, isn't it?
The Spirit of Jesus just entered me. 08459 455 555. Have I got time to play this? How long is this song? No, I haven't. I'll play it afterwards. I've got a great song. We're compiling a list of songs about people dying in horrific circumstances or becoming seriously injured.
Honey. There's a really miserable song.
What, by Bobby Goldsborough?
Yeah,
what?
She dies.
I thought, was she dead? I thought she just left him.
No, she's dead.
Hey.
Ebony Eyes by the Everly Brothers.
What happened in that?
Oh,
Plane
stop
crash?
it. Yeah, it's so sad.
Oh, wait, Down by the River by Neil Young. Thank you, Scott. Yeah, he takes his baby down to the river to shoot her.
Oh. Tell Laura
Not a real
I love
baby.
her.
Tell Laura I love her. Yeah, he dies in a car crash. No, his lover.
Oh, right.
08459 455 555. Miserable songs, and what do you do in front of a mirror? Here's a Tijuana hymn.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Having a look at the A1 on the speed sensors, it's looking fine at the moment. There are roadworks between junction 2 for Five Ways Corner and 4 for Edgware, but they're not causing any delays at the moment. In Borehamwood on the A1 southbound, it's starting to look quite slow between the Holiday Inn and the Stirling Corner. And in Aylesbury on Aston Clinton Road, there's roadworks going on at the junction for New Road, so that could get busy later on this morning. Looking at the train departure boards, no reports of any delays there at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hey up, Samantha. Thank you very much indeed. And when we ask, what do you do in front of your mirror, please keep it clean. Young ears. Well, actually, no ears at this time of the morning. It doesn't matter. Also, a young lad, well-booked day yesterday. You might have sent your kids or your grandkids off dressed up yesterday, or maybe they've gone in today. My boy has gone in as... what's the blue Mr. Man with the bandages?
Mr. Bump.
Mr. Bump. And he looks flipping brilliant. What your girls... Did they do it yesterday or today?
My eldest is doing it today because I've got a disco as well.
Oh.
She's going dressed as one of the kids from The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe.
Hey.
An evacuee.
Well, one young man went dressed... He's 11 years old, dressed as Christian Grey, which is kind of bad enough. But what did he have in his pocket?
Cable ties and a blindfold.
He's been expelled. I say
No,
good.
He's been excluded from activities.
Oh, OK, all right. I'd take a step back. I think he should be booted out permanently.
I think the teacher should have let it go.
What do you think? 08459 455 555. Am I right in thinking we've sent Justin to the streets with this?
Yeah, we have.
Ay. Nice working here, guys.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 6:30. I'm Simon Oxley. Police in High Wycombe have stepped up patrols after 2 nights of vandalism against cars thought to be linked to the death of local man Habib Ullah. 2 men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday evening. The actor Harrison Ford has been injured when a light aircraft he was piloting crash-landed on a golf course in Los Angeles. And a report into care and standards at Milton Keynes Hospital says it requires improvement despite being rated good in some areas.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Newcastle's Papi Cisse has accepted an FA charge of spitting at Manchester United defender Johnny Evans. Cisse has issued a full apology, but Evans denies spitting at Cisse and is yet to respond to the charge. In tomorrow's football, third place Watford go to Wolves in the Championship. Manager Slavica Jokanovic says he may change tactics and formation again.
Football is not for silly people, it's for clever guys. I don't want improvisate in the game. Sometimes I must to adapt my mind and adapt my plans.
In League One, MK Dons will make a decision on the fitness of goalkeeper David Martin later today ahead of the home match with promotion rivals Preston. Martin has missed the last 5 games. Lee Hodson is set to replace suspended skipper Dean Lewington. In League 2, third-placed Wycombe go to Southend. Luton host Morecambe with Elliot Justum set to continue in goal as Mark Tyler faces a scan on a knee injury. Paul Benson and Pelly Ruddock are back in training. Manager John Still says Ruddock's fitness has been a slow process.
It's only when he's explosive that it tells, and he played the other week, he come on and within seconds something wasn't quite right, so we've had to get over that one, but we've give it a touch more time again and we feel that we've got to the bottom of it so he can start playing some development games.
And Stevenage are at home to Newport. Borough have signed former Luton midfielder Keith Keane on loan from Preston. And Andy Murray leads Britain in their Davis Cup tie against the USA, which starts in Glasgow at lunchtime. Murray opens against Donald Young in today's singles. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 7.
Wrong one. Sorry, everyone.
We're doing miserable songs about people dying in car crashes. Here's Jan and Dean. Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, this will do. Shh.
Last thing I remember, Doc, I started to swerve, and then I saw the Jag slide into the curve. I know I'll never forget that horrible sight. I guess I found out for myself that everyone was right. You won't come back from Dead Man's Curve. Dead Man's Curve is no place to play. Dead Man's Curve is the best keep away. Dead Man's Curve, I can hear them say.
Now, of course, we're talking about miserable songs where people die or become seriously injured. Of course, that actually happened to Jan Berry of Jan and Dean. He crashed at Dead Man's Curve, was in a coma for 33 days, and then came back, and he wasn't really, particularly well after that. And boy, oh boy, watching videos of Jan and Dean live in the 70s, where Jan Berry shuffles on, can't sing or speak properly, it's a miserable experience. Go and look it up on YouTube. Fun times, guys, fun times. 08459 455 555 is the phone. Let's have a look at the papers, Catherine, and then we'll play...
Well, pass me them then, because I can't see them from here.
I'm so sorry, my darling. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, my
Carried
darling.
away with your vinyl.
I'm sorry, my darling. I'm so sorry, my darling. There you go, my darling.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Let's just make it a bit more fun for the boys and girls at home. I'll have a little old bit of this. Away you go.
Right.
You've won a dishwasher, a caravan, a weekend for two in Bletchley,
Bletchley.
cable ties, and a hand.
Oh. Shaun of the Bed, screams the headline from The Sun.
Yeah? Oh, what?
Page 9.
Oh.
Happy Monday star Shaun Ryder has revealed the secret behind his new zest for life.
Is it the fact his best mate Bez is a complete and utter...
Testosterone shots.
Oh.
The Superman jab can help men boost their sex lives and get fit.
I like boosting sex and fitness. Those are my two favourite things.
But they can't hold kryptonite anymore.
Hey.
The controversial treatment can have side effects such as heart, liver and kidney damage and shrunken...
so it's boosting your sex life, but it's shrinking.
Prunes. I'm a celeb star. Ryder, 52, said he's not been put off. He said, they make me feel like a 21-year-old. I'm a dad, and I get to do it right this time.
Well, let's keep his fingers crossed for him. Onesie Man and his dog. I hate... Why do we dress animals up? I hate dressing animals up. Apart, of course, from monkeys dressed as bellboys or butlers. That is fun, and they love it because they wouldn't do it if they didn't.
They get famous out of it as well, don't they?
But dogs dressed up. It's just wrapped up in a colourful checked onesie. This pampered pooch takes the lead... Oh, flippin' heck. On the Crufts catwalk yesterday. Surely a dog walk. You've won a fondue set, a shoe, a night of passion with Cleo Rokos. Thousands of dogs turned up for the start of the world's biggest dog show, sporting... Why do we still have Crufts? Crufts is the equivalent of Miss World or the beauty pageants for children. We realise that both of those things are ridiculous and we've banned them.
No, that's still pretty popular. Crocodile Burn D.
This is great!
A restaurant has cooked a curry so spicy the chef has to wear a gas mask to cook it.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
They make diners sign a disclaimer before tucking into the £15 Crocodile Inferno.
Yeah.
Only a handful have finished the dish, made from croc meat and naga chili at the Dilshad in Cannock, Staffordshire.
Wow.
Owner Tony Udin said the crocodile bites you back as you eat it. And on the way out as well, I imagine.
I don't... Listen, guys. Does anyone see the floor... Hang on a second.
Oh.
Fields and scatter the good seed on the land.
Harvest.
But it is fed and watered by God's almighty hand. You've won a pillow full of a child's hair.
Ew.
You've won time. Does anyone see the flaw in this, OK? New law next month will give you extra time before wardens pounce. No parking fine. It's the front page of the Mail, that and a pair of boobs. No
belonging to...
Elle Macpherson.
Okay.
The 51-year-old boobs are looking mighty fine. No parking fine if you overstay by just 10 minutes. Can you see the flaw in this?
Yes.
What is it?
Who's going to police that? How are they going to know how long you've been there?
Well, because it said... Sorry? How are they going to know how long you've been there? Well, how do you think traffic wardens know how long you've been there? But it says it on the ticket.
It's in a council car park, isn't it? Go on. Tell me then.
No, you've got a ticket on your window.
Stop giving me the sign for 3 inches. What are you talking about?
Dearie me, I'll tell you what I'm talking about. This. We plough the fields and scatter the good seed on the land, but it is fed and watered by God's almighty hand. I tell you what I'm talking about.
Sends the snow in winter, the warmth to spill the grain. Something
Jesus.
and warm, refreshing rain.
Alrighty. I tell you how they know. It says on the ticket what time it runs out.
All right, OK, fair enough.
So that's not the flaw.
That's a good idea, then.
No, it's not. Drivers are to get an extra 10 minutes after a parking ticket runs out before they can be hit with a fine, says James Chapman, the political editor, the same James Chapman, political editor, who wrote a story about us playing a racially offensive record. Under a change in the law to take effect within weeks, they will have the right to a grace period in all on-street or off-street council parking places. Right, OK. So you've got a parking ticket, it expires at 7 o'clock, OK?
So you think I'll rock it out till 10 past?
Yeah. But then they cut the warden puts a ticket on at 10 past, 11 past. You go, oh, no, that's not fair. I was only a minute over my grace.
That's exactly what I'd do.
Well, exactly. So, all right. So then this fella, Pickles, is then going to say at some point, OK, well, we'll add a 10 minutes grace to the 10 minutes grace. We're going to stop this war on motorists.
Right.
So you've got 10 minutes grace.
Right.
But we're going to give you a 10 minutes grace on top of that 10 minutes grace.
20 minutes.
So you turn up at 21 past and your fella's slapping a ticket on. Oh, no, I was only 30 seconds over my 10 minutes grace.
That's exactly what I would do.
Pickles comes in, says, right, I'm going to give you another 10-minute grace. So you've got 10 minutes.
Why's Pickles hanging around car parks?
You want to ask him that. There's a lot of against the shops nearby. So you get a 10-minute grace. Then you get a 10-minute grace on your 10-minute grace. But to top that off, you've now got a 10-minute grace on the 10-minute grace.
That's half hour.
Yes, fine, OK. So you turn up at 7:31, your fella's whacking it. Oh, no, boss, I'm only 30 seconds over my 10-minute grace.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? There's a reason that parking stops at a... you understand what I'm saying, don't you, Kelly?
Yeah, I do.
There's a reason the parking stops at 7 o'clock.
Is what you're saying, don't mess with the formula?
I'm saying, if it expires, it expires. Get there. And this will help no one, because all of these chancers will now turn up 11 minutes late.
Do you think he's just doing it to stop it feeling like,
He's doing it because he's got election fever. Yeah. He has got election fever. There is no cure for election fever apart from an election. What you got?
One more. Do you want one more before we play another record? Or
we'll play another record, isn't it? Go on.
Right. A dimwit robbed a supermarket and was swooped on by cops. Swooped. They swooped. Why did he swoop?
That man styling.
Because he bragged on Facebook minutes before the armed raid. And this is what he put.
Yeah.
Doing, full stop, Tesco, full stop, over. What an idiot. Knife thug Andrew Hennels, 31. He even posted snaps of the blade he used, a judge heard. I mean, he's not Lex Luthor, is he? 15 minutes later, he was spotted terrorising customer service staff.
More Richard Pryor, Superman fans.
Into handing over £410. He then scarpered to a nearby pub. Wow. Which was surrounded by gun cops in Kings Lynn, Norfolk, before he gave himself up. Gun cops. Last night, the lout was on remand in jail after he pleaded guilty at Norwich Crown Court to robbery and having a knife. Police Sergeant Pete Jessup confessed it was a bizarre and unusual case. We've not got to the bottom of why he posted the pictures.
Do that again, but don't say it.
We've not got to the bottom of why he posted the pictures and words on Facebook. He said of the raiders' idiocy,
he's an idiot.
None of this takes away from the seriousness of the crime. Well,
right. Well,
but he is a plum.
He's doing Tesco over. We're doing Spanky over. Spanky Wilson, it's the name of the artist.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it to sound vulgar.
You know Sunshine of Your Love that we love? This is the A-side.
This is from an advert, isn't it?
Yeah.
What advert? Is it Boots? Oh no, that's Here Come the Girls. We'll find out after this.
You can make a true believer out of me. Yes, you could make me all I ever want to be. You're so much I can't be sure you're true. And my heart and soul belong to you. You can reach me 'cause you fascinate me so. Yes, you can teach me all I ever want to know. You're the one who drills me through and through, and my heart and soul belong to you. Nobody but you. Love was out of season till you came along to be the reason I made my move. Love was out of season till you came along to prove to me that
for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M11 southbound, there's been queues, but an accident just between junction 7 for Harlow and 6 for the M25, which is starting to cause queues to build up. On the M25, no reports of any major delays at the moment, but in Bricketwood on the North Orbital Road, it's starting to look slow around the M25 junction 21A roundabout. In Borehamwood on the A1 southbound, it's starting to look slow between the Holiday Inn and Stirling Corner southbound. And in Aylesbury on the Aston Clinton Road, there's roadworks at the junction for New Road, which is looking fine at the moment on the speed sensors, but it could cause some delays later on this morning. On the trains, the 6:54 service from Bedford to Brighton, calling at Luton at 7:15 has been cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. 6:46, it's Friday the 6th of March. Let's see if we can squeeze in 2 more records, shall we, before the end. I've got one. You pick one, Kath, out of your box, please. Police in High Wycombe have stepped up patrols after 2 nights of vandalism against cars thought to be linked to the death of local man Habib Ullah. 2 men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday. And actor Harrison Ford has been injured after crash landing a plane at light. Here's the weather with Elizabeth.
Beds, hearts and bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hi, very good morning to you. It's a much milder start to the day than we saw this time yesterday, kicking off at around 6 or 7 degrees actually across the 3 counties, so you notice that when you step outside the door. A little bit cloudy this morning, a bit of a grey start, but stick with it because it'll brighten up nicely through the late morning and into the afternoon, and by the end of the day there'll be lots of long spells of sunshine and it'll feel very spring-like. We're looking at top temperatures today up to 11 or 12 degrees, 54 in Fahrenheit, not bad at all for the time of year. Overnight tonight, dry, temperatures down to around 5 or 6 degrees again. And then for tomorrow, plenty of sunshine around. It's going to be a really lovely day, in fact. Probably temperatures up to widely 13 or 14 degrees. Quite possible that we could see a degree or so added onto that. So not a bad looking day at all. Sunday, a bit of a disappointment compared to Saturday. It will be dry, but it's also going to be really quite cloudy. Temperatures, though, still in double figures. That's the forecast.
You better hurry, 'cause it's going fast. If you want it, here it is. Come and get it. Make your mind up fast. If you want it anytime, I can give it. But you better hurry, 'cause it may not last. Be a catch. Will you walk away from a fool and his money? Sonny, if you want it, here it is. Come and get it. But you better hurry, 'cause it's going fast. You better hurry, 'cause it's going money. Sonny, if you want it, here it is. Come and get it. But you better hurry, 'cause it's going fast. You better hurry, 'cause it's going fast. You better hurry, 'cause it's going fast.
Morning, Justin.
Hey, what a tune that is.
Yeah, good, isn't it? Some good songs today. I'll tell you what you need, though, to brighten you up. Hang on a second, let's pick one we've not had.
Can we just have a spontaneous round of applause for somebody called Ron Griffiths from Badfinger, who is local and vocal?
Oh, listen, hats off to Badfinger. Any time, brother, any time.
Absolutely.
Let me just find...
Did you know the original machine, which recorded Without You, the classic. That machine is in Hemel Hempstead.
Hey, Hemel Hempstead.
Yes, true.
All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things bright and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Each little thing is beautiful, all creatures great and small, yeah, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Each little thing that opens, each little bird that sings, He gave the glowing colours, He gave them mighty wings. All together now, all things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Made them, the Lord God made them all. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small.
Justin.
All things wonderful, the Lord God made them.
Kelly Betts.
All things teachers great and small.
Teachers.
La la la, dee 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 dee. That Lord, He made them.
Mama Kath.
Each little flower that opens, each little bird that sings, He made their glowing colours, He made their tiny wings.
And that's it.
All things, all things, all things.
All together now.
All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Lord God made them. The Lord God made them.
He made
Oh, yeah! Well, also sounded like the theme tune to Are You Being Served?
Are you being served?
All right, mate, don't blaspheme, all right? Bit of respect. Abide with me, please. Oh, no, actually,
Respect.
Sorry?
Respect.
Don't do respect to Jesus. Right, anyway, we're in dangerous territory. Justin, we asked...
What's this one?
Praise my soul, the King of Heaven. We asked you to take it to the streets. Things you do in front of mirrors, Justin.
Yes.
And like a plum, you did it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good lad. What have you got for us?
Well, I've been to Barton in Bedfordshire, and I put this question to the good people there. Some of them gave very bland answers, but some of them gave interesting answers. Here's what happened, boss.
How?
How often do you do this?
Quite often, every time I look in a mirror.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, on average, then, how many minutes per day do you spend practising your pout?
I don't know, quite a lot.
1 hour?
Probably.
That's 7 hours a week.
Yeah.
Are your friends the same?
Yeah, definitely, if not more.
Morning, madam. I'm J-Dog. I'm a street dog. What do you do in front of your mirror?
Pardon?
What do you do in front of your mirror?
Just look. Check my muscles every now and again, see how I'm doing with my losing weight.
So when you're flexing, do you feel sexy?
No, not really.
What do you do in the mirror? What do you do in front of the mirror?
Do comb my hair. That's about it.
Nothing outrageous. You don't
Nothing
practice doing the YMCA or anything like that?
Nothing like that.
Thank you.
Dry my hair.
Come on. There's got to be something more exciting than that. Come on.
No, dry my hair. That's it.
You don't practice dance moves or anything like that?
No, I don't. I'm boring.
Here we go. Tara, you practice the moonwalk in front of your mirror. Why?
Because I have a 6-year-old son that loves Michael Jackson, so when we're playing on the Michael Jackson Experience, I've got to obviously be as good as him.
Yeah.
Like, I can't have a 6-year-old showing me up, can I?
So how often are you practicing in your mirror?
I do it every so often. I also do the thing where, you know, when you walk down the stairs and you do this, you can see yourself.
God, you are sad, aren't you?
I've got nothing better to do.
Do you know anybody else who practices the moonwalk in their mirror?
My whole household probably practices the moonwalk in the mirror.
And I do as well. And I am blooming good at the moonwalk. I'm genuinely good at the moonwalk. Justin, we haven't got much time. Kath's got a story for you.
A boy of 11's been banned from taking part in World Book Day at his school because he dressed up as Christian Grey. I mean, I would suggest his mum dressed him up as Christian Grey. Nicola Scholes said her son Liam was told by his secondary school his 50 Shades of Grey inspired outfit was offensive. No, it wasn't the outfit you're thinking of. It's the one where he's got all his clothes on. The lad was ordered to change out of his fancy dress based on millionaire billionaire businessman, star of the bondage-themed novels by E.L. James. He donned a suit, smart black shoes, an eye mask and cable ties.
Justin, I think it is completely inappropriate. My boy's gone as Mr. Bump.
Yeah.
So was that kid, by the sounds of it. It was right for him to be excluded, wasn't it?
Well, I'm in St Albans at the moment. I've put this question to a couple of parents already, and I'll be honest with you, they are absolutely disgusted about this boy and what he did.
As they should be, Justin. Take it to the street. We'll speak later.
Cheers, boss.
Ta-ta.
Get on your pony and ride. All right, that music. Ride your pony. Get on your pony and ride. Oh, you're riding high. Now stay in the saddle. Way out west where the grass is green. California, yeah, you know what I mean. New York City and Detroit too. On to New Orleans, the home of the blues. Ride your pony. Get on your pony and all right. Ride your pony. Get on your pony and oh, you're riding high. Now stay in the saddle, stay in the saddle. Now get ready. Now shoot, shoot, shoot. Ride your pony. Get on your pony and all right. Ride your pony. Get on your pony and oh, you're riding high. Stay in the saddle, stay in the saddle. To St. Louis where the girls are pretty. Atlanta, GA, what a swinging city. Got to make Chicago, that's for sure. Move on to Baltimore. Ride your pony. Get on your pony and all right. Ride your pony. Get on your pony and oh, you're riding high. Stay in the saddle, stay in the saddle. Now get ready.
So, was a school right to exclude an 11-year-old... Oh, he's shooting. Yeah. Exclude an 11-year-old boy from a day's worth of fun activities because his mum had chosen to dress him up as a pervert?
Can I speak freely?
Yeah.
I think it was a bit tight. His mum had done it.
Loosen it, Christian.
His mum dressed him up like that. The kid doesn't really know what that book's about.
Yes.
So I would let it go as a teacher, maybe have a word with his mum, or maybe just
it's
just
inappropriate.
lighten up.
But then at the same school, kids were dressing up as Dexter. So we celebrate death, we don't celebrate love. Seems a bit outrageous.
And also Dexter's a TV show, right?
0845. Yeah, it's not World TV Day. Justin, sorry, what are you?
I'm J-Dog. I'm a street dog.
Thank you.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M1 towards London, it's starting to look slow between junction 7 for Hemel Hempstead, and looking at the M25 anti-clockwise, it's looking slow anti-clockwise around junction 16 for the M40. On the M11 southbound, there are queues building up because the lane's closed between junction 7 for Harlow and 6 for the M25. And in Hatfield, looking at the speed sensors on the Great North Road, it's looking fine at the moment through St Albans Road East, but there's some temporary traffic lights there which could cause some queues later on. In Milton Keynes, on the A421 Standing Way, there's roadworks at the Kingston roundabout, so expect delays there when it starts to get busier. And on the trains, the 7:14 service from Luton to Brighton has been cancelled. Samantha Breff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. So, two things. Christian Grey, 11-year-old goes to school dressed up as him. Is that appropriate? No. And also, there's 10 minutes grace on the parking ticket. Can someone explain it to me, please?
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: Wickham vandalism linked to death of man in stop and search, 2 men stabbed in Bedfordshire street fight, and Harrison Ford injured in LA plane crash.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Police in High Wycombe have stepped up patrols after 2 nights of vandalism against cars. More than 50 vehicles have been sprayed with graffiti and had their windows smashed in attacks thought to be linked to the death of local man Habibullah. More from Jane Killick.
The graffiti read NJNP, which is believed to stand for No Justice, No Peace. It follows an inquest this week which ruled the death of Habibullah was through misadventure. The 39-year-old father of 3 died after being stopped and searched by police in 2008, and the family say they will continue to fight for justice. 4 men have been arrested and bailed.
2 men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday evening. Bedfordshire police say they were called at 7:20 after reports of a large number of men fighting on Hartwell Drive. 2 men were stabbed with a knife before the other men fled the scene. The Hollywood actor Harrison Ford has been injured after a small plane he was piloting crash-landed on a golf course in Los Angeles. The 72-year-old star of the Indiana Jones and Star Wars films is said to be in a stable condition in hospital. Patrick Butler is from the local fire department.
I've been on several plane crashes, single engine, small personal aircraft, and normally the outcomes are fatalities. So yes, we are very thankful that the passenger, from what we appear right now, had moderate injuries.
A report into care and standards at Milton Keynes Hospital says it requires improvement despite being rated good in some areas. The latest Care Quality Commission findings highlight accident and emergency services and medical care as not up to standard. More from Carol Abercrombie.
The Trust was rated good in 6 out of 8 areas, but still has an overall rating of requires improvement. The Trust Chief Executive Joe Harrison acknowledges that A&E and acute medical services come under most pressure due to increasing demand. He said they would use the report as a springboard for continued positive change. The report is based on a 3-day inspection in October.
Analysis by Oxford University suggests that immigration has pushed up the population of England by 565,000 in the past 3 years. The university has carried out the research to update the 2011 census before the general election. Drivers are to get a 10-minute grace period before a parking fine is issued. The Communities Secretary, Eric Pickles, says he wants to end the war on drivers. More from Victoria Fritz.
As of next month, councils will find it far harder for their wardens to fine drivers. The government is set to end years of complaints by banning on-the-spot fines for being a few minutes late. The use of cars equipped with CCTV to automatically issue parking fines will also be banned, except in high-risk areas such as bus lanes. The government is also reminding councils not to use parking to turn a profit.
The weather cloudy with some occasional sunny intervals, a maximum temperature 11 degrees Celsius. And you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Thank you, Simon. Hey, if you live in High Wycombe, there is a possibility that your car might have been vandalised. Well, if it has, give us a call and let us know. Why might it have happened? We'll explain more in a bit. What do you do in front of your mirror? Songs about people having horrible accidents. I know, morbid, isn't it? An 11-year-old turns up at World Book Day dressed as Christian Grey from the book 50 Shades of. Come on, what parent in their right mind would do that? Really? That's like Amanda Holden dressing up her daughter as, not Butch Patrick, that's Eddie Munster.
Pretty Woman, but she says she didn't. She says she was supposed to be Cindy Crawford.
Oh, but she tweeted it. Didn't her husband tweet it was...
I think the person who advised.
Ah.
Now no longer working.
Now no longer working. 08459 455 555, and we can indulge in them. We don't do niceness very often, but I've seen the figures and perhaps we should. If your kids have dressed up today as anything for World Book Day, do give us a call. Let us know what they are, please.
Because we know it was yesterday, but lots of kids are dressing up today.
Lots of kids are doing it today. My eldest is Mr. Bump, and he's got an excellent costume, and he kept falling over yesterday and go, oh, I've bumped myself. Hilarious.
My daughter's gone to school as Lucy Pevensey.
I don't know.
Lucy from Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe.
08459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Don't forget at 9 o'clock, of course, you get...
Jonathan Vernon.
There we go, you see. That's my favourite clip, and I forgot I had that.
Someone called him Bernard Smith once. That was my favourite.
Gets JVC a lot. Bless him. Have we got any texts before I crack on, Catherine?
I don't know. We'll crack on and I'll tell you in a minute.
81333. Start your text 3CR. Now, police have been stepping up patrols in High Wycombe after 2 nights of vandalism in the town. They believe the spate of damage to around 50 cars is linked to the recent outcome of the inquest into Habib Ullah's death. Saqib Deshmukh is the spokesperson for the Justice for Habib Ullah campaign called Justice for Paps and is advisor to the family. Morning, Saqib. Thanks for joining us this morning. I know that the family are keen to distance themselves from this vandalism, aren't they?
Yes, they are, of course. Yeah, we put out a statement after talking to the police a few days ago.
And what did that statement say, Saqib?
We're just condemning the acts. I mean, obviously, we appreciate things are a bit tense and people are angry, etc. After the verdict on Monday that yourselves reported about, but that there's no way that we can tolerate this kind of action.
For those who may have missed the news, Saqib, what did the inquest conclude?
The inquest concluded a verdict of misadventure with a critical narrative verdict about the conduct of the police officers.
OK. What does a critical narrative verdict mean? I've not heard that phrase before.
Yeah, basically it raised a number of issues to do with the actions of the police. But I mean, I think for a lot of people who don't understand verdicts, I'm no legal expert myself, but it's something that we found out about in terms of working and supporting with the family.
Yeah.
Is that I think people just saw the verdict of misadventure and assumed that it was an accident or as it was an accidental death. Didn't really pick up on the fact that there was quite a lot of criticisms of the police, and I think people just, especially young people in particular, just got angry that this was a disappointing verdict, that the police were almost kind of allowed to get away with something. And unfortunately, for a lot of people who didn't really understand the nuances of the verdict, they seem to have committed some of these acts.
What's been the family's reaction to the verdict?
I mean, the family were... I'd say it was a mixed bag for them. They weren't too happy that the initial thing was about misadventure, but I think they were happy that there were criticisms raised against the police officers and their roles in the restraint and the aftercare of Habib. So, I think the family were in particular kind of content that the inquest is actually finished, that had some closure. So, all these events and incidents that are taking place afterwards are very difficult for them to understand and appreciate because they want to just move on.
They've hijacked, these idiots have hijacked the no justice, no peace, NJNP kind of slogan that the family were using, haven't they?
Well, I mean, that's a slogan that's used by, lots of kind of campaigns, not just ours. So, the Justice for Farouk Ali campaign, the Justice for Leon Briggs campaign in Luton that I know, again, BBC Three Counties have covered. Those families also use that expression. So it's not something something that we have used ourselves. But, it's unfortunate that we've got young people who feel angry. But, I mean, at the same time, as a kind of an ex-youth worker, I can understand that anger. I don't like what they've done, but I do feel that it shows that there's a bit of a kind of a disconnect between, sort of adults and sort of civil society and the legal processes and young people, right? And, it's very unfortunate that this has happened in the way that it has. And, we feel very, very sort of concerned about the damage that has happened, the individuals that have been hit by this in terms of damage to their vehicles in particular. It's quite kind of extraordinary what's happened so quickly.
Saqib, I really appreciate your time this morning. Thanks very much.
OK, no problem.
Thank you very much indeed. Saqib Deshmukh, spokesperson for the Justice for Habib Ullah campaign. Should you say 4 men aged 26, 27, 19 and 18 from High Wycombe were arrested on suspicion of criminal damage in connection with the incident on Tuesday and have been released on bail.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Today's show, sponsored by this album. It's a treat. It's a hymns Tijuana style. It was good. Would have cost me £2 from Andy's in Luton record shop. He saw me fingering it. He said, "I'll tell you what, mate, if you play that on the radio, you can have it for free." No one else was ever going to buy this, were they? Yeah, that's right. I've indulged in the old payola. I've accepted something for free. It's a hymns Tijuana style LP. I've been doing a lot of looking in record shops recently, in charity shops, and Kath and I have both kind of gone on a record buying jaunt. Not the right word, but it'll suffice in this context. And I've noticed there are lots of records that were released in the 70s, and next time I see one, I will buy one. Lots of records released in the 70s of create your own party kind of vibe. And what it was like party music. Quite often someone playing it, like they would play it on the piano in the East End, that kind of roll at the barrel. But also on the album would be party noise. So it would be people drinking, there would be general hubbub, talking, hey, all of this kind of stuff. It's weird. Women laughing. Create your own party. Next time I see one, I'm gonna get one, and we'll have some of that. We'll create a party in the studio. Party atmosphere.
We do that every morning.
Any texts before I go to Hannah?
We've got loads.
Give us a couple of texts, and we'll go to Hannah.
Hang on a second. Oh, I say we've got loads of texts.
Oh, we haven't got any texts.
Yeah, we have.
Go on.
Hi.
Hi.
I've been trying to find a TV programme, says Kevin from Claydon. It's very scary at the time in the 60s. Starts with a 10-year-old girl in bed sick. She draws a book, then goes to sleep in dreams of what she draws. Big stones with eyes chasing her. Then she wakes up. Can you help?
Wasn't that Chalky? There wasn't there. There was a. Was it
Chalky? You mean?
No, Chalk. There was a cartoon where a boy would draw on a wall with chalk and things would come to life.
I love that.
Hannah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, do you remember it? You're under the age of 45, aren't you?
Yeah.
Remind me how old you are, Hannah.
10.
10 years. Well, you won't remember Chalky, will you?
No.
Do you remember Jamie and his magic torch?
No.
Do you remember Space Hoppers?
No.
Do you remember Spangles?
No.
Do you remember Penny Crayon?
No.
Do you remember Bagpuss?
No.
Do you remember Cholton and the Wheelies?
No.
Oh, do you remember Crossroads? Before it burnt down.
Do you remember Brookside?
Do you remember Swap Shop?
No.
Do you remember Posh Paws?
No.
Do you remember the Adventure Game?
No.
Hey, do you remember the ZX Spectrum?
No.
Remember the Sinclair C5?
No.
Hey, do you remember the Atari?
No.
Pong, you must remember Pong.
No.
Hey, do you remember when we only had 3 channels?
No.
Do you remember White Dog Poo?
No.
Do you remember when the pubs used to close at 3:30?
No.
She don't remember a lot, does she?
Do you remember yesterday, Hannah?
Yes.
Oh, blimey, we found a common ground. Hannah, World Book Day. Did you dress up yesterday, or are you doing it today?
We're dressing up today.
What are you dressing up as, my dear?
Professor McGonagall.
Professor McGonagall?
Yeah.
That rings a distant bell. I can't remember what that's from. From what?
Harry Potter.
Oh, you're dressing up as why have you chosen that character, Hannah?
Because she's my favourite character.
Can you do the voice, the Maggie Smith Scottish voice?
No.
Oh dear. Not thought this through, have you?
Oh, so what were you wearing? Who's made the costume? Has Mum made the costume?
No.
Have you made the costume?
No.
You bought the costume, right?
Yeah.
Fair play, I do that every time. My daughter went as Hermione Granger. Easy as pie. School uniform, on, cloak, on, wand.
So what is... To describe the costume, Hannah, if I were to come to your school today and I were to see you walking through the school doors, what would I see?
Well, it's all black.
Yeah. Ooh.
I've got a long cape.
Yes.
I've got buttons on the front. And I've also got McGonagall's brooch.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
She's not messing
around. And do you still have to do boring lessons, or do you get to doss around a bit?
I don't know.
Oh. Do you remember Kaplunk?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You're going to take that in?
No.
Thanks very much indeed for calling, Hannah. 084. Have a great day. I like stuff like this. Now I've got kids.
I do.
Before I used to, that old rubbish. But how can she not remember Posh Paws?
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M25 anti-clockwise, it's looking very busy around junction 16 for the M40, and the M11 southbound has queues because of an accident earlier at junction 7 for Harlow towards junction 6 for the M25. Looking at the M1 on the cameras towards London, it's looking very slow through junction 7 for Hemel Hempstead, and also it's looking very busy from the A41 southbound from Kings Langley at the Hemel Hempstead turn-off towards the M25. In Milton Keynes on the A42 on Standing Way, there are roadworks around the Kingston roundabout which are likely to cause delays as it starts to get busier. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
I've just had someone on Facebook say they don't think I'm a fan of the Monkees. Sorry, I don't think you're a true fan. Oh, Brian Sapp, and that's his name. As soon as I'm finished, I'm coming to the States to kick your ass. Not a real fan. 7:15. It's Friday, the 6th of March. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The family of Habib Ullah have appealed for calm in High Wycombe after 2 nights of vandalism. A report into care and standards at Milton Keynes Hospital says it requires improvement, despite being rated good in some areas. And 2 men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday evening.
BBC Three Counties Radio. Every weekday from 12, local people.
Wendy Howson and David Shipley are trustees of the Harpenden charity Spotlight on Africa.
So privileged to see lives change, conditions change.
Local stories.
A deaf cafe will be popping up in Bedford later this month, opening its doors for you to share sensitive stories and talk of afterlife.
There are people with similar concerns. And you can have a light-hearted side of it as well, and we often end like that, you know.
Local life.
We're going to be heading off into the unassuming countryside of Bedfordshire.
We all know the brick pits and the industrial spoil that's marked the Marston Vale.
Nick Coffer, weekdays from 12 on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Someone is trying to describe... Oh, this is feeling very holy.
By the way, you've had an offer for that record.
What?
Yeah, Caroline in Bedford wants it. How much?
Well, it's not for sale.
Oh.
Sorry.
Playing hardball, are we?
Well, it's not for sale, mate. I don't buy things to sell them. I buy them because I like them. And I like this. Being a Christian and also being from Mexican heritage, this ticks all the boxes I could ever need ticked.
You also like a trumpet, don't you?
I love a trumpet. I would blow my own trumpet, but I haven't got one. Someone has reminded me of a song on the old Twitter box.
Yeah.
And it rings a bell, Elaine. We're talking about songs about where people die or get maimed.
Yeah.
How about this song? Hello, this is Joni. I'm sorry, but I'm not home. Now, see, I'm thinking, hi, how you doing? I'm sorry, but I'm not home. If you leave your name and your number,
yeah, it's not that.
I'll get back to you. It's not that. I remember that. Hello, this is Joni, and it was about someone who died, and that this person would phone up their answer phone just to hear their voice.
Oh gosh.
That's
tragic, isn't it?
Isn't it just?
Just tragic.
Steve, you don't know that song, do you?
I do know that song. I do remember hearing it when I was working on the shop floor many, many years ago.
What's it called?
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, no! I thought we were going to be in there straight away. It rings.
I'm just trying to think what it was.
It rings a really distant... In the 70s, there were... 60s and 70s, there were lots of really miserable records. What was the song about? There was a song... Lots of songs about CBs and truckers. There was a song about a trucker who would talk to a disabled kid on CB, and then he drove all the way across America to meet the disabled kid, and the boy was dead. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that one, no.
08459 455 555. What on earth was that? Steve, you've not called in about that. What have you got?
Yeah, basically, the person who was asking about that television programme where the girl was drawing pictures and would then dream about them.
Yeah.
It was called Escape into Night.
Oh.
And it's now out on DVD, so...
We're all Googling it frantically. Escape into Night. 1972.
That's right, and it's one of those programmes that once you watched it, it really spooked you out.
Oh, it looks flipping brilliant. It looks terrifying, and it's in black and white.
Black and white, yeah. It was in colour originally, but they've only got the black and white version surviving.
She looks like the girl from the test card, doesn't she?
She does, actually. Apparently, I think the way the story went is that she had a horse riding accident, and she was laid up in bed, and she was getting quite bored and stroppy, so she started drawing these pictures, and every time she fell asleep, she dreamt what she drew about, you know. And it got more and more spooky as time went on, so...
Guys, it's on YouTube if you want to watch it. It's Steve, 5 out of 5. No, what the hell, 10 out of 10. That was a cracking call, thank you. Oh, it looks terrifying in black and white, doesn't it?
It does.
I'm a big fan of black and white, and it doesn't get used at all.
I know some
really.
people that won't watch it if it's in black and white. That's crazy.
Yeah, I just think it makes things so much more menacing.
Isn't it weird, though, after a while your brain stops thinking this is black and white?
Yeah, and you've fallen asleep.
No.
08459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Here we go. Milton Keynes Hospital has been criticised for the quality of care it gives to patients by the health watchdog. The Care Quality Commission says A&E services and medical care fall below the standards they would expect. So it's given the trust that runs the hospital an overall requires improvement rating, even though it did do well in several other areas. Let's speak now to Andrew Pakes, the Labour prospective parliamentary candidate for Milton Keynes South. You've been campaigning for the hospital for some time. What did you make of the report, Andrew?
I think the report clearly says there are some big areas that we all know about that needs to improve around A&E and medical care. But first up, I think this is a much better report than what we saw the last time the CQC came in and did it. I think it's huge credit to all of the NHS staff that on the vast majority of criteria, the hospital really has improved. But what we're left with is two long-standing issues. A&E unit is too small, the hospital doesn't have enough resources, and despite the work of staff, we're still seeing problems as more people start turning up to A&E.
You're right, the hospital says the report is great news as they were rated good in 6 other core services. How do you think they've managed to turn things around?
I think we've got some really good management there. I think the hospital is, and the whole of Milton Keynes is relying on the work of some absolutely dedicated and amazing NHS staff. The hospital is still running a £25 million deficit, so we're in deficit just to keep these services going. And every time I go into hospital, whether it's visiting relatives, my mum's been in recently, or whether it's going in just to see staff or other people who work there, I'm always impressed by the amazing care and compassion of the staff in there. Just a lot of the time they run ragged because they haven't been given the tools to do the job.
Meanwhile, of course, there's still uncertainty over the future of A&E at Milton Keynes Hospital. Where are we with that? Do you know?
I think this is still really worrying. The hospital has made big improvements, but 3 years down the line, and I've come in and chatted to you before about this, we've spent £5 million of taxpayers' money reviewing whether all the services in Milton Keynes stay here and all the services in Bedford stay there. And we're still no nearer it. Just imagine what that £5 million could have done if it had actually gone into frontline care for patients.
Andrew, good to talk to you. Thank you very much indeed. Andrew Pakes, Labour prospective... I always struggle to say that. The Labour prospective parliamentary candidate for Milton Keynes South.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
That's what I do. Morning, Barry.
Hello, Ian.
Hello, Barry. What you got for us?
Oh, my brain tells me what you're looking for is a song called Hello, This is Judy. Judy can't take the call right now, or something like that.
Yeah.
Hello, this is Judy,
Can you sing it for us, Baz?
Well, that's all I can do. Sorry, no, I really can't.
Just give us that bit again.
Hello, this is Judy. Judy can't take the call right now. Something like that.
You've made it sound all trippy and like, hello, this is Judy.
And this poor sod was ringing his girlfriend, and all he got was her answer machine, whatever.
Do you know who sang it, Barry?
70s, pardon?
Do you know who sang it?
I haven't got a clue, no.
Thanks for your help.
All right.
Cheers for the call, it's much appreciated. 08459 455. I've just got an email that's flashed up. Hang on a second. Murph says it's De La Soul. No, it's not. Mark says... here we go. Kelly, can you pull Paul Evans off for me, please? Paul Evans. The record... Mark says the record was Hello, This is Joni by Paul Evans, who originally sang the incredibly creepy song 7 Little Girls Sitting in the Back Seat. Oh, that's a weird song, isn't it? 08459 455 555. We're celebrating the magic of the macabre song this morning. Morning, Caroline.
Morning.
What you got for us?
I was just going to sing it, but you found it.
Oh, no, we haven't found it yet. It will take Kelly a few moments to dig it up. So what have you got?
Well, it was, hello, this is Jodie. I'm sorry I'm not home.
No, is it, what, is it Judy or
Jodie. Hello,
Jodie.
this is Jodie. I'm sorry that I'm not home, but if you leave me your name and number, I promise soon as I get in I'll phone.
It's the same as, hi, how you doing? I'm sorry, but I'm not home.
No.
If you leave your name and your number, I'll get back to you.
No.
Yes.
Well, same thing, but wrong words.
Well, it's the same tune.
No.
Yes.
Similar.
Naughty. Are you biting your bottom lip?
I beg your pardon?
Okay, can you, hang on a second. Justin?
Hey, boss.
Do you know what we're talking about?
Yes, I do.
Is Caroline right?
Hello, this is Yoni, was by Paul Evans.
Yep.
And Paul Evans called me yesterday.
What?
And he said to me, would you like me to come on your show at some point?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Mr. Evans, going by previous experience, if I were you, Justin, I'd grab him as soon as you can. There's a real curse about us, Caroline. If we talk about people, they don't live much longer.
Oh, no.
You going to get him on the show, Just?
Absolutely.
Hey, beautiful.
Hey.
Did he really call you yesterday?
Absolutely, I promise you. I heard you talking about this. I phoned in straight away.
How
Paul
funny.
Evans, he wants to come on my show.
That's
He's
fantastic.
got a song coming out for St Patrick's Day.
Hey! Oh, well, I tell you what, Justin, when he comes on, you let us know and we'll play the fanfare. Kelly, have you managed to pull Paul Evans off?
I'm just getting it now.
Okay, well, Caroline, thank you very much.
No problem.
Did you just, Caroline?
Yes.
Did you just roll your eyes at me?
Yes.
Oh, Justin, speak to you later.
Cheers, boss.
Cheers, my dears. Isn't that funny? Oh dear, I'm sorry, Mr. Evans.
She really wants that record, by the way. She told me off air.
Who?
Caroline.
Oh, is that Caroline that wants the record?
Yeah.
Is she gone?
Yeah,
she's gone.
she's gone.
Oh, no wonder she's being so playful.
I said she could have it.
No, she can't have it.
Why?
Because it's mine. It cost me £2.
Come on, we've rinsed it out this morning. A joke's a joke.
No, hang on a second. We haven't rinsed this out.
Hello, this is Jodie.
That's Paul Evans singing live. No, she's not getting my record. It's mine.
Oh.
Keep her hands off.
That's mean of you.
Hey, I tell you what's exciting. They want mum spies. This is you. You could be a spy.
I could be a spy.
Maybe I am already. You're not. Well,
don't
I've got
know
Mossad. I've got Mossad and SAS. You haven't. MI5.
I know techniques.
I know. MI5 wants middle-aged mothers as spies.
Well, that rules me out. I'm young.
Because they understand people better. This is by James Slack. Spy chiefs have been told by MPs to recruit middle-aged mothers because they are emotionally intelligent and skilled at relationships. Honey traps. That's all it is.
No, that's not what they're talking
They're
about.
talking about honey traps.
They're talking about...
MILF honey traps.
No, they're talking about the mum skills that make you say, are you all right? And when people say, are you really all right, though?
An inquiry by the MPs and peers on the committee found that the action was needed to break through the
Mums are the best.
They want mums. Labour's Hazel Blears, who sits on the ISC, said yesterday that recruiting a greater number of women would make the security services better at their job. Yeah, you can't drive as fast, you can't drink as much, and you can't fire guns as straight.
Hang on. You've seen me drive.
Yeah, terribly, mate.
I drive.
Why is it me that's got all the points on their licence?
And got caught ever training. It's no, because I drive. How would I say? I'm not. I'm a swift driver, but I'm a safe driver. I don't drive too fast. I drive according to the conditions.
Lots of mums on Mumsnet have said, if they need someone whose special skill is getting melted chocolate down her dog hair jumper and not noticing, I'm their woman.
I never spill stuff on myself, ever.
Another says, I'm not signing up. I've watched Spooks. Everybody I get attached to dies a horrible death.
True.
Oh, fantastic.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Looking busy on the M1 southbound between junction 10 for the Luton Airport Spur Road and 9 for Redbourne. And the M25 anti-clockwise is very busy now from junction 17 for Maple Cross to 16 for the M40. In Cheshunt on the Great Cambridge Road, that's looking slow southbound between College Road and Lieutenant Ellis Way. And in Little Haddam on the A120, that's looking slow in both directions at the moment at Albury Road. In Aylesbury on on Mandeville Road, that's also looking very busy by the Stoke Mandeville Hospital at Churchill Avenue. And on the trains, the 7:37 service from Luton to Bedford is delayed by 20 minutes. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 7:30. I'm Simon Oxley. The family of Habib Ullah have appealed for calm in High Wycombe after 2 nights of vandalism. Mr Ullah died after being stopped and searched by police in 2008. An inquest this week recorded a verdict of misadventure. A report into care and standards at Milton Keynes Hospital says it requires improvement, despite being rated good in some areas. 2 men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday evening. And the Hollywood actor Harrison Ford has been injured after a small plane he was piloting crash-landed on a golf course in Los Angeles.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Newcastle's Papi Cisse has accepted an FA charge of spitting at the Manchester United defender Johnny Evans. Cisse issued a full apology and faces a 7-match ban, but Evans denies spitting at Cisse and is yet to respond formally to the charge. In tomorrow's football, third-place Watford go to Wolves in the Championship. Manager Slavisa Jokanovic says he may change tactics and formation again.
Football is not for silly people, it's for clever guys. I don't want to improvise in the game. Sometimes I must to adapt my mind and adapt my plans.
In League One, MK Dons will make a decision on the fitness of goalkeeper David Martin later today, ahead of the home match with promotion rivals Preston. Martin has missed the last 5 games. Lee Hodson is set to replace suspended skipper Dean Lewington. In League 2, third-placed Wycombe go to Southend. Wanderers have failed to overturn Matt McClure's midweek red card. Luton host Morecambe with Elliot Justum set to continue in goal as Mark Tyler faces a scan on a knee injury. Here's manager John Still.
We're going to have a scan now. We've waited to see how it's got a lot better, but not quite right yet. So we'll have a scan and we'll have a look. But Elliot's done fine. I think he's got a good future, Elliot. He's done very well.
And Stevenage are at home to Newport. The Borough have signed former Luton midfielder Keith Keane on loan from Preston. And Andy Murray leads Britain in their Davis Cup tie against the USA, which starts in Glasgow at lunchtime. Murray opens against Donald Young in today's singles. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 8.
Running down the speedway, chasing on my ice cream. Running down the speedway, chasing on my ice cream. Yo, we're wow. Yo, we're wow. Yo, we're wow. Yo, we're wow. Running down the speedway, chasing on my ice cream. Yo. Running down the speedway, chasing on my ice cream. Running down the speedway, chasing on my ice cream. Wow! It's a song that's about to begin. There's a song that we're gonna sing. Yo, we're wow. Yo, we're wow. Sing it to the audience loud and clear. Sing it to the audience so they can hear. Yo, we're wow. Yo, we're wow. Running down the speedway, chasing on my ice cream. Yo, we're wow. Yo, we're wow.
Thanks, David Savage.
Literally,
I don't know who you are, but you work wonders with that old track.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
We'll consider you for the compilation.
An old track. Literally.
That's a grown man that made that.
This is Jody.
Hello, Jody. We'll come to you in a second.
I'm sorry that I'm not home.
That's okay.
But if you leave me your name and number, I promise soon as I get in I'll phone.
Hello, this is Jody.
Jody, we'll come to you in a second. This is the actual song, is it? Mr. Paul Evans, who called Justin Dealey only yesterday.
Hello, this is Johnny.
I remember this.
I'm sorry that I'm not home. But if you leave me your name and number,
oh, this is a tune.
I promise soon as I
much red and we got into a fight. She said I'm leaving and I let her go alone. I felt so damn bad this morning, I reached right for the phone.
So damn mad this morning.
Called her right away to beg her to forgive. The phone rang once, the phone rang twice, and then I heard her say,
sorry that I'm not home, but if you leave me your name and number, I promise soon as I get in our phone.
Joni, I'm sorry and I'm feeling oh so small. That was the message that I left and I waited for a call. I waited with a sinking feeling in my heart, not knowing if she'd forgive me was tearing me apart. I couldn't go on this way, I had to call again. The phone rang once, the phone rang twice, and then I heard her say, hello, this is Johnny. I'm sorry that I'm not home, but if you leave me your name and number, I promise soon as I get in our
It's like killing the bee with a bazooka.
My phone rang and my heart sang, my baby's called at last. Instead it was a friend who said that Joni's car had crashed. I never should have let her drive home angry from my place. I'd never hold her again and kiss that funny face, but still there was a way to hear her voice again. The phone rang once, the phone rang twice, then I heard her say, hello, this is Joni. I'm sorry, but I'm not home. I'm so sorry, Joni. Your name and number, I promise soon as I get
Well, this is...
Surprisingly, that's a tune.
Yeah, that is all right, isn't it? He's 77 now, Paul Evans.
I'm sorry.
This is what they get this songs like this into the charts. That over Christmas, that'll stop kids drink driving, wouldn't it?
No, too much red.
Too much red. Paul's emailed in, Paul Garrett. This is usually a very funny show, but this is rubbish and embarrassing.
Wow.
We can't get gold every day, Paul. And in fact,
Which bit was rubbish and embarrassing?
Well, I think the whole show is what he's saying.
Oh, wow.
But Paul, listen, if we do, but every now and then we sneak in a bad show deliberately, it makes you appreciate the good ones a bit more.
Exactly. Caroline in Bedford.
Morning, Caroline.
She won't let up. She's after your LP and she will not stop.
If she wants, listen, Caroline, if you want to come back on and haggle with it for me, yeah.
She's got a swapsy for you.
What's she got?
She says you can have Herb Albert and his Tijuana Brass.
No,
I love that too.
No, Herb Albert's it's too obvious, mate. It's too obvious. Joe's on the line. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, Ian. How are you?
Well, I'm wounded and I'm stung by Paul saying this is rubbish and embarrassing today.
Gosh.
Just let it fly over your head. The weekend's ahead.
Hey, you're right, Joe. I've only got another 2 shows to do before tomorrow evening.
Fair play, though. Paul is cool.
Yeah, Paul is cool. Joe, what have you got for us?
Right, a morbid song.
Yeah, oh, yes.
It's by a guy, I believe, called Jimmy Cross.
Oh, yeah, that name rings a bell.
And it's called I Want My Baby Back.
And how does it go?
I ain't singing it.
Oh, come on, you lightweight.
No. I can close down a pub when I'm karaokeing.
Hang on a second, is it this?
Hello, this is Judy.
Is it? No, that's not it.
No.
And what's it about? Is it about someone dying in a car crash?
It certainly is. It's quite morbid.
I
heard it years ago, and it's quite funny. It's not funny.
No, but it's funny. I listened to the Shangri-La's Leader of the Pack last night. I bought an album and it was on there. And I knew of the song, but as soon as I played it, Joe, I was transported to being 5 years old when I had an old dance set in my council house in Slough. And I must have had that record because I remember being obsessed by it. The motorcycle noise, the screeching of the tyres, the no. And as a 5-year-old, it terrified me.
I know. Didn't we have great parents back then?
Joe, thank you. It was the equivalent of letting a kid sit down and watch, I don't know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Dexter or something. It was awful. Morning, Chris.
Hi, Ian. How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you, boss. What you got?
It's good, mate. Bad radio. I was going to say the same thing. Jimmy Cross, I Want My Baby Back.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I don't know. Kelly, can we find a bit of Jimmy Cross, I Want My Baby Back? How does it go?
It starts off slow and it ends up into a bit of a dancing song actually, but
You can't dance about that.
the guy it's a love story that goes wrong. It's a guy who basically his girlfriend's killed in a motorcycle accident, and the crux is I want my baby back, and over there's my baby, and over there's my baby. She's actually in bits off the body.
Oh, stop
Get it on.
Well, we'll find it. Well, Kelly, if anyone can find it, Kelly can. Do you remember the song, Chris, about the fella talking to a kiddie on the CB radio who's disabled, and then he goes to meet him and he's dead?
Oh yeah, God, what's that called? So long ago now. That's got.
There was a real thing. The 70s. If you were a kid in the 70s, you would think America was all CBs and truckers, because there were all these songs. There was Smokey and the Bandit. You had Convoy. It was a different world.
Yeah, well, I was a CBer, mate. I was the penguin. And there was only 7 of us. We'd been chased around by the Home Office. They wanted to catch us when it was illegal on AM. Good buddy.
10-4, 10-4. Good buddy. Did you ever meet for an eyeball?
Oh, quite often, yeah. Well, what's your rapper, mate?
Oh, did you put on an American accent as well?
No, you would wind people up and you'd make out you were coming from the other side of the world. They picked someone up from America and they were talking to him. It was great.
What was your handle?
The Penguin.
No, you were the Penguin?
I was the Penguin, the famous 7 were the Gladiator, the Voyager.
And it all got, I bet it all got a bit boring for you once they legalised it.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Once it went to FM, little kids got on it. No more fun.
Yeah.
There you go. Goodbye.
Chris, listen, goodbye. Thank you for that. Dr. Watts.
Yes.
Are you doing a sneaky work call?
Not quite, but listen, I've got I Want My Baby Back tune, and it's on an album that Kenny Everett put together called The Worst Album in the World Ever.
Oh, and it did. The thing is, I read about this album. All the artists were really peed off that they were put on this record until it sold.
It's awful. It's like the worst thing you've ever heard.
But until it sold bucket loads, and they all started getting royalties for it, and everyone was then trying to get their artists on volume 2. How does it go?
I honestly can't remember off the top of my head. I remember it's just about what Matey just said about bits of his girlfriend being all over the road.
Hang on a second. I think.
That's it.
Here we go, Dr. Watts.
I want my baby back. Gotta have my baby back.
We'll play. I can't skip through, but we'll play it to we'll pick it up towards the end. But if anyone knows that song about a fella, a trucker on a CB radio, and he's talking to a disabled kiddie, and he goes all the way across America to meet this kiddie, only to find out the child's dead. Peter in Kempston, do you know the song I'm talking about?
Yes, mate. I think it's called Teddy Bear's Last Ride.
Oh dear sir, Teddy Bear's Last Ride. Who's it by, Peter?
A guy called Red Sovine.
Who?
Red Sovine.
And have I got the story right? It is that miserable, isn't it?
That's right. And there's another one that to do with a little child, and it's called Giddy Up Go, but I don't know who that one's by.
Peter, listen, thank you very much, Dave. You knew about Teddy Bear's Last Ride, was it? Dave?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I thought it was just Teddy Bear.
Oh, is it? Okay. I think there may have been... Thank you for that, Peter. I think, Dave, that he did Teddy Bear, and then he did another one as well, because it was such a big hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because Teddy Bear was his handle.
Can you sing it? Can you sing it, Dave?
I can't remember it that well.
Oh, you cowards. There's the crash.
Pack. Well, when I come to, I looked around.
Oh, he was driving the motorbike.
And there was the pack. And over there was my baby. And over there was my baby.
Oh.
And way over there was my baby. I want my baby back.
That is terrible.
Over there was my baby. And over there was my baby. And way over there was my baby.
That is awful. Wow. I mean, who passed that one?
Oh, if you've got any more miserable songs, please, 81333 3CR or 08459 455 555. Have we got any texts?
Yeah. We probably have a few more in a minute. James in Wolverton, tragic song, Tell Laura I Love Her,
Yeah,
Ricky
yeah.
Valance.
Oh.
The CB songs were by Red Sovine.
That wasn't Richie Valance. Tell her I love her.
Wasn't it?
No.
No, that was Donna. He's thinking of Donna.
Yeah.
The song with Little Boy in the CB was Teddy Bear. Another sad one was Phantom 309 and Little Joe. That's from Linda.
Hang on. Something's happening.
Pack that in.
Jimmy Cross. I think he's dead. He's in the coffin with her.
That is wrong on so many levels.
Anybody got a chill down their spine? He climbed into the coffin with her. I think we have to have a breather and a moment's silence for Jimmy Cross's baby. They'll do.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Little Haddam on the A120, that's looking very slow on the speed sensors in both directions at Albury Road. In Tonwell on the A602 Ware Road, that's looking very slow between Westmill Road and Anchor Lane. And in Cheshunt on the A10 Great Cambridge Road, it's slow southbound from College Road to the Winston Churchill Way. In Aylesbury, looking at the speed sensors on the A41 Friarage Road, that's looking very busy around the Oxford Road roundabout to the A413 Walton Street roundabout. And on the motorways, no reports of any delays on the M1 at the moment. The M25 anti-clockwise, though, is looking slow between junctions 16 for the M40 and 15 for the M4. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you very much, Sammy. Oh, that song has really unsettled me. Blimey. We're all a little bit, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, 7:46. Where are we? It's Friday, the 6th of March. The 6th of March already. Who'd have thunk it? I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The family of Habib Ullah have appealed for calm in High Wycombe after 2 nights of vandalism. A report into care and standards at Milton Keynes Hospital says it requires improvement despite being rated good in some areas. And 2 men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday evening. Coming up, Panther update, but before that, let's get the weather. Here's Elizabeth.
Beds, Hearts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hello, very good morning to you. It's a milder start than we saw this time yesterday. 6 degrees across the 3 counties as we speak. Lots of cloud around this morning, but it will brighten up a bit later on through the morning and into the afternoon. We'll see lots of spells of sunshine. The air's nice and mild, a fairly light to moderate southwesterly breeze. It's going to be a pretty nice day. Top temperatures today up to 11, maybe even 12 degrees, 54 in Fahrenheit. Overnight tonight, it will stay dry. Lots of clear skies. The breeze will pick up just a touch and temperatures will fall to around 5 or 6 degrees. So again, a fairly mild start to the day tomorrow. It'll be a lovely spring-like weekend, particularly on Saturday. Lots of sunshine around and temperatures above average for the time of year, right up to 14, even 15 degrees. Might even see a 16 somewhere across the 3 counties. Never know your luck. It will be a nice day and there will be plenty of sunshine. The breeze will pick up just a touch though tomorrow. Sunday, a bit more in the way of cloud, but still temperatures in double figures. A lovely weekend all in all. Some rain on the way on Monday and then turning a bit cooler after that. That's the forecast.
After another mixed night of football for our local sides, tomorrow gives them another chance to get 3 points. Watford are away to playoff chasing Wolves.
Vintra's there again!
MK Dons are at home to promotion rivals Preston.
Still Carl Baker plays it across, and there's that goal that MK Dons have been looking for.
Luton host Morecambe.
And Luton Town have the second goal.
And Stevenage entertain Newport.
To the back post, Pence underneath it. Great goal by Stevenage.
Follow your team with Three Counties Sports tomorrow from 2 here on BBC Three Counties Radio.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
We are... You're right, Justin.
Hey, boss.
Did you hear that Jimmy Cross song, I Want My Baby Back?
Well, yes, I heard it, and it made me feel quite ill.
Do you remember the Teddy Bear song?
No.
Hang on.
was on the outskirts of a little southern town.
Oh, this takes me back.
Trying to reach my destination before the sun went down. The old CB was blaring away on Channel 19 when there came a little boy's voice on the radio line. And he said, "Breaker 19, is anyone there? Come on back, truckers, and talk to Teddy Bear." Well, I keyed the mic and I said, "You got it, Teddy Bear." And the little boy's voice came back on the air. "Appreciate the break. Who we got on that end?" I told him my handle, and then he began. "Now, I'm not supposed to bother you fellas out there. Mom says you're busy and for me to stay off there. But you see, I get lonely and it helps to talk. 'Cause that's about all I can do."
Yeah, it goes on and on,
Dear
Justin.
me.
Weren't the 70s a very dark and mysterious time for music?
Twisted with a capital T.
As long as he liked. "This was my dad's radio," the little boy said. "But I guess it's mine and Mom's now."
Oh, I can't. There's too much heartbreak. Well, it does kind of set the tone a little bit, Justin, for what is becoming a very serious story.
Yes.
The Beast of Bedfordshire. Last week we told you about a Black Panther sighting in the county. Sisters Rosalind and Debbie from Houghton Regis bravely agreed to meet our intrepid reporter Justin Daly back at the scene in Streatley to tell their story.
Yeah. And it had a really thick neck and right cheekbones that were chiselled, and we decided to pull over in the lay-by and to come out and get a better look at it. And as it come out, Deborah was behind me and I was in front, and I could see it coming out of the scrub
It was definitely black. This was a Black Panther.
It was jet black. I've never seen anything so black.
Yeah, and then I was shouting to Deborah, "It's come out of the bushes, Deborah. It's coming out. It's turning to face us. Run for your life. Run like the wind."
Just leave you with that image in your mind for a second. Terrifying stuff.
Yes.
Justin, you've taken this under your wing. You've been investigating further. Who have you been speaking to recently?
Yes, a week on, I've been talking to Willie Tiernan. Now,
I don't know, Willie?
Willie.
Tell me, you met him?
Yeah, I met Willie yesterday.
I don't know, Willie.
This Willie.
I don't know, Willie.
Okay, Willie Tiernan.
I don't know. You met him, Willie.
I met Willie yesterday.
And is he going to?
He's about to tell his story. In a nutshell, he has 4 sheep, and he keeps those sheep to, in his words, cuts his grass. Huh? He's got quite a bit of land there in his back garden.
Okay.
Now, around the same time as the original sighting from the 2 sisters, Rosalind and Debbie from Houghton Regis in Streatley, one of his sheep was attacked. And his back garden is around half a mile away from the original sighting. The vet, very, very concerned about what happened. Thankfully, the sheep has survived. It was actually Willie's granddaughter who found the injured sheep. Willie tells us here about the injuries that were on his sheep.
There were 2 mouthfuls that was taken completely, one off the side of the sheep's face and one off the top of its head.
Had you ever seen anything like that before?
Never seen anything like that before, no. I've seen sheep where dogs has chased them, pulled the wool out of them, but nothing that took mouthfuls of flesh from them.
She's currently separated from the other sheep here. Is it a miracle that she survived and she's still walking around today?
We didn't think she would survive, but she has done.
So the vet has said to you, the bite marks on your animal, they are too big to come from a dog, and they're too big to come from a fox. This is starting to concern me now.
Yeah, we know they wouldn't come from a fox or a badger because the teeth marks were too big.
So which animal do you think this bite has come from?
Don't know.
Do you think it's a panther?
It's quite possible. It could be. I don't know.
But it can't be explained at this moment in time?
At this moment in time, no.
Wow. What about sightings yourself? You've lived here for quite some time. We're right in the middle of the country here. Have you ever seen a big cat before in this area?
Yeah, I've seen a big cat in the area before, about 10 to 12 years ago. This large black cat squatted down in front of a burrow where rabbits were, and it was waiting for obviously, for them to come out.
And what do you think it could have been? A panther, a puma?
Well, I thought at the time it was a panther. That's what I thought. I never did know about it being a puma, but I thought it was a panther. But then I'm no expert on those sort of animals.
But a lot of people are laughing at this story, saying it can't be a black panther. But we're getting sightings. We've got this story about your sheep, the bite mark which can't be explained. There's got to be something happening here, surely.
Oh, there's definitely something happening here, yeah. Definitely. But no, I can't give you an answer to it.
Well, we've got calls in, and if anybody else has seen anything in the area, if they could call the Panther hotline. Willie, thanks for your time today, and hopefully this mystery can be explained in the foreseeable future.
I hope so too.
Obviously very disturbed, wasn't he?
It was, and again, some people are saying, haven't you got anything better to talk about? This is absolute nonsense. Well, to those people right now, why don't you come on the radio and you try and explain what's happening here in this part of Bedfordshire?
Stay there, Justin. Natasha?
Yeah.
You've seen it, haven't you?
Well, yeah, we did.
Tell me what happened.
A couple of months ago, me and my other half were driving to Milton Keynes. We're on the way home, and as we were coming into Woburn, the back end, Jamie sort of looked at me and gone, "What's that?" And as we pulled down the hill, on like the breadth of the top of the hill, we could see in front of us there was this big black thing, and we were curious, so we've pulled over, had a little look, and as we've got closer, we've realised that it's not a house cat. It couldn't have been a house cat. It was way too big. And we've got, a family dog, Alfie, and it was at least another half of his length included. So, yeah, we reckon we saw it as well.
Now, there are you filmed it, didn't you?
Yeah, we managed to get a really crappy iPhone video of it.
The crappy iPhone video is on our Facebook page. Some people have suggested that maybe it's just a normal cat close up.
If you were there, you would have realised, there's no way it was a house cat. I mean, I did animal management at college, and, I've got a fair knowledge of domestic animals, but that was no house cat.
Justin?
Well, again, it's another story backing up what other people are saying. Lots of people have phoned in this week saying, again, that they've seen a large black cat, either in Bedfordshire or now, of course, further up in Buckinghamshire. These sightings are coming in, and people keep saying to me, I know what I saw. And not everybody can be lying, and not everybody can be making this up. There is something out there. We are looking into it, and at this moment in time, these things, sadly, they can't be explained.
Natasha, what conversation, when you were with your partner at the time, how did you both feel? Was it a bit scary?
A little bit, yeah. Scary and sort of exhilarating at the same time.
Yeah,
we wanted to get closer, but obviously not get too close.
Not get eaten.
Exactly, yeah. But it was most worrying when I called the wildlife park because we were so close to Woburn.
Yeah, what did they say?
I assumed maybe something had escaped. I expected them to tell me I was crazy, but they put me straight through to their big cat department.
The what?
And they've got a separate area for their big cats.
Yeah.
So they put me straight through, and I was having a chat with the lady, and as soon as I said it was a black cat, she said no, it wasn't one of theirs. So it was still scary that they put me through, though. I just thought they were going to call me crazy and hang up on me.
Natasha, I really appreciate you getting in touch and showing the video. Facebook.com/BBC3CR if you want to see it. Justin, where next?
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, for the time being, I've done all I can. I've spoken to a big cat expert.
You've not done all you can.
Well, for the time being...
I did suggest a suit of bacon.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga style. If you were to go in the fields in a suit of bacon, that might just tease it out.
I've been into that field now 3 times in the last week or so.
Have
Sadly,
you worn a suit of bacon?
Not a suit of bacon just yet, no.
Here's a serious suggestion.
Yeah.
Why don't you take
Mine was serious.
Why don't you take a tracker?
Possibly. It is quite
Take
scary.
a Native American.
No, I mean, there's a guy...
Those guys are brilliant at finding panthers.
There's a guy in Wickham who I've spoken to over the years, and he reckons he traps...
Well, we need some sort of expert advice in that field. I'll tell you why, because a big cat expert said to me that panthers do not like human contact. That's what he said to me.
Unless they're ripping the head off, as they've probably done already. This panther's probably killed. Will probably kill again. It's a man-eating baby snatcher.
No.
Justin, thank you very much. 08459, etc., etc.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the A1 southbound, queues are building up between the Holiday Inn and Stirling Corner southbound. In Cheshunt on the A10 Great Cambridge Road, it's looking very slow southbound from College Road to Winston Churchill Way. And in Little Haddam on the A120, that's very busy in both directions at Aubrey Road. In High Wycombe, the A40 London Road's very slow at Kings Road. And on the motorways, the M25 anti-clockwise is building up between junction 16 for the M40 and 15 for the M4. And looking at the M11 southbound, there are queues after an accident earlier between junction 7 for Harlow and the M25. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. So, World Book Day, who did your youngsters go dressed up as? And it wasn't Christian Grey, was it? Like some 11-year-old boy did? That's just wrong, surely.
Local and vocal across Beds, Herts and Bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8 o'clock. I'm Simon Oxley. The headlines: family appeal for calm after Wycombe vandalism, improvement needed at Milton Keynes Hospital, and St Albans taxi drivers threaten to boycott city centre.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
The family of Habibullah have appealed for calm in High Wycombe after 2 nights of vandalism. Police have stepped up patrols after more than 50 vehicles were sprayed with graffiti and had their windows smashed in attacks being linked to the death of Mr Ullah in 2008. He died after being stopped and searched by police. An inquest this week recorded a verdict of misadventure. Saqib Deshmukh is a spokesperson for the Justice for Habibullah campaign.
Obviously, we appreciate things are a bit tense and people are angry, etc., after the verdict on Monday. But there's no way that we can tolerate this kind of action. Unfortunately, for a lot of people who didn't really understand the nuances of the verdict, they seem to have committed some of these acts.
A report into care and standards at Milton Keynes Hospital says it requires improvement, despite being rated good in some areas. The latest Care Quality Commission findings highlight accident and emergency services and medical care as not up to standard. More from Carol Abercrombie.
The Trust was rated good in 6 out of 8 areas, but still has an overall rating of requires improvement. The Trust Chief Executive Joe Harrison acknowledges that A&E and acute medical services come under most pressure due to increasing demand. He said they would use the report as a springboard for continued positive change. The report is based on a 3-day inspection in October.
2 men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday evening. Bedfordshire Police say they were called at 7:20 after reports of a large number of men fighting on Hartwell Drive. 2 men were stabbed with a knife before the other men fled the scene. The Hollywood actor Harrison Ford has been injured after a small plane he was piloting crash-landed on a golf course in Los Angeles. The 72-year-old star of the Indiana Jones and Star Wars films is said to be in a stable condition in hospital. Drivers will get a 10-minute grace period before a parking ticket is issued as part of a package of measures designed to tackle overzealous enforcement by councils. The change will come into force within weeks. Community Secretary Eric Pickles says the aim is to put common sense back into parking. Taxi drivers in St Albans are threatening to boycott the city centre in the early hours because of safety fears. They say some have lost faith in getting a prompt response from the police, a claim denied by the Hertfordshire Force. Here's Ewan Duncan.
St Albans and Harpenden Taxi Association says there have been several occasions when drivers have either had their vehicle damaged or been verbally abused by aggressive customers who've drunk too much. The Secretary Mudassir Yassin says some drivers aren't bothering to report these incidents because they've lost faith in the police taking action. In a statement, Chief Inspector Ken Townsend from Hertfordshire Police said officers have arrived within the national response time during recent incidents at St Albans taxi ranks, and officers regularly patrol the city centre throughout the night.
The weather cloudy with some occasional sunny intervals, a maximum temperature 11 degrees Celsius, and you can get the latest news and sport online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Thank you, Simon. It's been a very, very morbid show this morning. We've been celebrating the miserable song. Can you believe it, kids? There was a fashion in the 50s, 60s, 70s for songs about people, dying or being severely disabled by motorcycle accidents. Send us in your best ones, please. We're also, it's World Book Day. It was yesterday. What did your kids go dressed up as? And, are you surprised that a school excluded an 11-year-old boy who came dressed up as Christian Grey? The suit, the tie, in his pocket. a blindfold and some cable ties. I mean, really? And no one has been able to... I can't understand. There's a new law is going to be passed so that if your parking ticket runs out, you can't get a fine until 10 minutes after. There'll be 10 minutes grace. Well, I don't get it. I've never understood people complaining about them getting tickets from wardens. If you've parked illegally or you've overrun your parking time, well, tough. Surely? 08459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Morning, Paulette. What you got?
Morning. I listened to earlier on, you were talking about a film called Escape in the Night.
Oh, yes, yes.
Years and years ago, just a little bit older than Hannah, about 12,
yes.
I read the book version of that, and it's called Marianne...
It's called what, sorry?
Marianne Dreams.
Okay, right. So this was the TV series, wasn't it? About a little girl who's ill and she draws pictures and has nightmares about them.
Yeah, I have never seen it on the book.
Right, okay.
But the book is terrifying.
Really?
I think a black and white version of the film would be like scary.
How old were you when you read it, Paulette?
I think I was about 12.
Oh.
And you know when you read under the covers in the night?
Oh, yes, I do.
I read this under the covers in the night, and it's the only book I couldn't stop reading it till I finished. I was too terrified.
Well, I bet that's... What would have happened to you if you'd have stopped reading it midway through?
Well, I probably would have dreamt the horrible things from the book.
Do you ever... I am trying to think. I've certainly not been scared by a book for a long time, and I don't really get scared by films anymore. Is there anything that scared you recently? Because that fear you get from a good book or a good film is flipping brilliant, isn't it?
It really is, but no, not really, no.
It's that thing, we get too old to kind of enjoy those sort of things.
I reread the book every so... It really is. It still terrifies me.
It still stands the test of time, does it?
The thing they were talking about the stones with the eyes in...
Yeah.
They were following this young children.
Oh.
Huge rocks with eyes in.
We don't scare our kids enough these days. A good bit of fear at a youngster, it kind of keeps them on their toes, doesn't it?
Well, I suppose so, yeah.
Paulette, thank you very much indeed for that. I wonder if anyone went as that character from the book to World Book Day. 08459 455 555. I can't think the last thing I saw that scared me. I think it might have been Wreck, which is a brilliant, which you would like, the Spanish film. Did I give you a copy of that?
No, you didn't. No, you keep talking to me about it and then not delivering.
I'll bring in a copy next week. It is brilliant. But I saw that 7 years ago, and I don't think I've been scared by anything since. Properly scared.
Luther, that can get...
Oh, for goodness. Is that Elba?
Yeah, it's Elba.
I tell you what scares me is Elba's career trajectory.
So good.
He's not, mate.
So good.
He's just rubbish. 08459 455 555. Police have been stepping up patrols in High Wycombe after 2 nights of vandalism in the town. They believe the spate of damage to around 50 cars is linked to the recent outcome of the inquest into Habib Ullah's death. Mohammed Khaliel is a member of the Independent Advisory Group for Thames Valley Police and joins us now. Morning, Mohammed.
Good morning.
I understand there was a meeting last night. Who was there and what was said?
We had members of the IAG, the Independent Advisory Group, and the police commander and the police inspector for the area and other related people really just focusing on this particular issue and nothing else. The horrific crimes. You can imagine one car damage is bad enough, but this was over 50 cars damaged in the last few days. People waking up to go to work, finding their cars are damaged, and sadly, we saw cars going to work with graffiti all over them where people just simply had no time even to deal with it. They had to get to work. And, you know, our hearts go out to all the victims of this horrible crime because I can well understand their anger and the insurance excesses involved.
What was decided at the meeting then?
In terms of the meeting, they just merely outlined the extra patrols that will be laid on last night. And before coming online, I did text the commander, and all I was told was that it's been a quiet night, which sounds positive news because Ed McLean is working hard behind the scenes to ensure the community on side. But it appears, thankfully, that last night may have been a night of calm, because we were also worried there would be a repeat of what had happened the previous 2 nights.
Can you understand? I can understand the anger of the people who've had their cars damaged. It's a right nuisance. But can you understand perhaps the anger of the people who have committed this vandalism, if indeed it is linked to the verdict, the decision that was made into Habib Ullah's death?
Well, I was involved with, firstly, I can understand certain tensions, and I was involved with the Duggan case when that happened in London. Sometimes you just need a catalyst, and people that don't like authority or have other issues will simply come out. And it appears to be the case here, because the Habibullah campaign have denied any responsibility, and they've said they pleaded for calm, and they would be damaging their own campaign. So I don't think they're involved in any way. They're victims to all of this. But equally, there are tensions, and that's a legitimate area that we need to be discussing and dealing with. And previously, we had a fantastic commander. We've got a very good commander now, and they're trying to engage the community. But youth and the police will always be a problem, and they will always be looking for an outlet. And any major event that can spark them off will get them into committing these horrible crimes.
They are. It is a news. I mean, what kind of vandalism had been inflicted on the cars?
Well, it's NJNP, which was the slogan for the No Justice, No Peace Habibullah campaign, Justice for Perhaps. That's been sort of sprayed and painted on cars. Windows have been smashed. Police cars were damaged as well, my understanding is. So it's a horrific crime, and as I say, it's unprecedented. 50 cars damaged. That's totally unacceptable.
Horrific is one word. Of course, also horrific for someone to die in police custody.
We fully sympathise, absolutely sympathise with the Habibullah family, and that's something that the due process is taking, going through the process. The tribunal has made a ruling, and now the officers are facing misconduct. So that I think will be something that we'll hear more about in the future.
There are sections of the community, of course, who, will see this as another, the death of another black or Asian person in police custody. And I guess, I'm not in any way condoning what they've done in the slightest, but I can understand why the young people, black and Asian young people specifically, might feel disenfranchised, might feel that the police are, don't speak to or for them. I can understand why they might be angry.
I think we all can. And this is an issue that's not just in Thames Valley, but in other areas. We've got groups of ethnic minority, particularly young people, disaffected and do not engage well with authority. And I, as a police, I've been working 20-plus years with the police in terms of advisory and other capacities. I can tell you there are problems on both sides. So the police have what's called a Professional Standards Department, PSD, and what people don't get to hear is a lot of police officers face disciplinary or even dismissal action in various forces for having committed quite serious offences. And so what we find is that at commander level, at management level, we sit there, we discuss these issues, everything is fine. But what actually happens at street level between the youth or other people and PC blog, etc., is what tends to lead to a lot of complaints. And, in the past we've had police officers involved in even sexual crimes themselves and other offences. So, yeah, it's a two-way story. But I would stress in the main, most police officers do a very good job.
Mohammed, thank you very much indeed. Mohammed Khalil, member of the Independent Advisory Group for Thames Valley Police. And, yes, thank you to Iain for your email there. 08459 455 555 is the phone number. A little quick recap and reposition of where we are. Don't worry about a phone call now. We'll get one afterwards. Sorry? Oh, you're thanking Mohammed. I do apologise, Catherine. I thought you were rushing to get a phone call.
No, we've got a bit of Matt coming up and we want to give him plenty of time.
Oh, flipping egg. Miserable Matt.
Yeah, of course.
We don't want to give him that much time, do we? I was expecting that. He probably hasn't got much left.
He's enjoying something today, so I thought we'd let that breathe.
I bet he was enjoying that miserable country song. Yeah, of course he was. Of course he was. We are celebrating the majesty of the miserable song, where people are killed or quite often just maimed, quite often seriously maimed in horrific motorcycle Or car accidents.
That song, I Want My Baby Back, was just plain wrong.
He gets in the coffee. I want my baby back. She's over there. And over there. And way over there. And then he gets in the coffin with her. 08459 455 555. What are your kids going to school dressed up for World Book Day?
I've just had a picture of mine. She looks absolutely brilliant.
Oh, I'll have a look at that in a second.
And we've had a text through from someone else who sent us a picture. This is wonderful. Bev in Aylesbury. My grandkids yesterday, Francis as Bruce from Matilda and Betsy as an Oompa Loompa. And yes, they have done her face orange.
Yay! No one has gone for the Christian Grey.
Strange that, isn't it?
Unlike the 11-year-old in Manchester, who went dressed as Christian Grey, and in his pocket he had some equipment.
Cable ties and a blindfold.
That is... What was his mum thinking?
Well, this is the other thing.
You thought this was all right?
No, I thought
This morning you said, that's all right, that.
No. What I said was, I don't think it was right for the school to shame the kid when actually it's the mum's idea. Have a word with the mum, or just let it go. Most of the kids won't understand what it is anyway.
But there's a picture of the kid in the paper, big grin on his face, dressed up in the suit. He's got the grey tie, he's holding the cable ties.
Do you know what's going to shock you more?
Yeah?
His mum's a primary school teacher.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
On the M25 anti-clockwise, it's very slow between junctions 16 for the M40 and 15 for the M4. And the M11 southbound, that's easing off now between junctions 7 for Harlow and the M25 after the accident earlier. In Cheshunt, the A10 Great Cambridge Road is looking very slow between College Road and Winston Churchill Way. And Little Haddam, the A120 is looking busy in both directions at Albury Road on the speed sensors. In Tonwell on the A602, that's looking very busy between West Mill Road and Anchor Lane. And in Clophill on the A6 Bedford Road, that's looking very busy approaching the A507 towards the roundabouts. On the trains, the 840 service from Luton to Bedford has been cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Sammy. 8:16, it's Friday the 6th of March. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The family of Habib Ullah have appealed for calm in High Wycombe after 2 nights of vandalism. A report into care and standards at Milton Keynes Hospital says it requires improvement despite being rated good in some areas. And 2 men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday evening.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Senior parliamentarians have vigorously denied any wrongdoing.
The biggest news stories mean different things to different people.
HSBC has described 2014 as a challenging year after reporting a 17% drop in its annual profits.
To us, the biggest stories are what's happening right here in Beds, Herts and Bucks.
A cancer charity based in Stevenage says they won't give up even though £5,000 worth of stock was stolen.
My little collection tins, that's all gone.
Every day, we bring you the things that matter most to you.
With news bulletins throughout the day.
A memorial outside Luton Police Station for Leon Briggs could be removed.
In-depth discussions.
She's proved to the nation that she's actually a human being. She's not an automaton.
And online at bbc.co.uk/3 counties.
Local news.
When and where it happens.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Matt sat up. Matt, yes. Matt, he sat on his phone.
No, can I try something?
Yeah.
Turn the music off. Okay, now try him.
Matt. Okay, that's Matt for you guys.
I thought it was a protest noise from Matt. Yeah, it was. Well, hang up, Matt, and we'll call you back.
Yeah, don't bother. Don't bother. I'm not that fussed.
No, he's deliciously dour today. You're going to love it.
Oh, dear. Hey, just be careful, guys. These dating apps.
They can turn
let's just get... Where's the sun gone? These dating apps, they sound like a lot of fun, but you can go in one door and you come out the other. The Sun, page 39. Tinder turned us gay. You've got to be so careful.
I don't think any kind of technology can turn you gay.
Tinder turned us gay, and to prove it, there's a picture of two women holding hands and a picture of them in bed.
Oh.
They look identical. When Syra Johal signed up to Tinder, the last thing she expected was to be looking at pictures of other women.
Well,
she'd always been straight and only recently come out of a relationship with a man, but started scrolling through. It was only when her friend confessed to changing her profile settings on the dating app to likes men and women as a joke, it made sense. Syra laughed along, but revisiting the site, she was amazed to find lots of matches with women wanting to date her. The 21-year-old was drawn to bar worker Grace Goddard's quirky sense of humour and the fact they looked exactly the same.
Beautiful.
Grace had never been in a relationship with a woman. She and Syra got chatting, and after weeks of messaging, they were both shocked by the level of sexual chemistry between them. Tinder turned us gay. Grindr turned me gay. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning.
Good morning, Matt. What have you got?
The Long Black Veil.
Sorry?
The Long Black Veil.
Well, take it off, Matt. Take it off, Matt. I can't hear you. You sound in a good mood. That's unusual, because you're miserable.
Well, you've got a good show on this morning.
Oh, hang on a second, because we've... No, well... Oh, dear. Paul has emailed in saying this is usually a very funny show, but today it's rubbish and embarrassing.
No, I think it's very good. I love all that old stuff. Brilliant.
You love all the miserable stuff?
I love the deep stuff, man. Leonard Cohen and all that stuff.
Flippin' heck. What Johnny Cash song do you like?
The Long Black Veil.
Sing along.
Over to you, Matt. Go on, Matty Bum Bum.
10 years ago, on a cold, dark night, there was someone killed at the town hall light. There was you at the scene, but they all agreed that the stranger who ran looked a lot like me. Now the judge says,
Flippin' hell, Matt. This is when we start to get...
What?
This is when we start to get listeners again. It turns out, hey guys, this is we're going to move this stuff to 8:30 and put good stuff in at 7:30.
Yeah.
It's a bit miserable, isn't it, Matt?
Well, he was condemned. He got the chair and he went to his grave.
No, he didn't, mate. He died of old age.
No, he didn't.
He did. I read a book about him. Johnny Cash. He got
Not
broken
Johnny Cash, you prat. The guy in the song. Don't keep complicating things, will you?
I'm so sorry. I thought because he got heartbroken when...
Whose show do you think this is?
Sorry?
Whose show are we on?
I thought it was mine, Matthew.
No, it's mine now.
Thanks for calling. In that case, Matt, have we got any callers that we can put through to Matt? I'm tempted to give him to the next guest, but I won't.
I want to speak to Dave.
Dave stopped calling us up.
Wow.
Dave has lost his bottle.
Well, he said he was going to ring us yesterday.
You gave him a lot of stick in the past.
Well, no, that's it. We were going to give him some stick and he didn't turn up to get it.
But you like the stick, don't you, Matt?
I love a bit of stick, yeah.
Thanks very much for calling. Tinder turned us gay. 08459 455 555.
Across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is Iain Lee.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Taxi drivers in St Albans are threatening to boycott the city centre in the early hours because of safety fears and say some have lost faith in getting a prompt response from the police. Well, the St Albans and Harpenden Taxi Association is calling for better protection from aggressive customers who've been drinking alcohol. Justin Dealey has been speaking to taxi drivers in St Albans.
Well, sir, you're on the taxi rank this morning. Your taxi has been damaged recently. We can see a big hole in the plastic there behind us. Who did that?
There was a lady, she was drunk, and I took her to Hemel, and the fare came up to a certain amount, and I asked her, and she started abusing, she was drunk, and she started kicking. And at the end of the journey, you couldn't argue with us. At the end, you have to just let her go. Because, you see, you touch a lady, and all she has to say, rape, and you're clobbered.
If you do phone the police, how long does it take them to come out and see you?
It can take up to 15, 20 minutes, and by that time, it's too late.
Just lastly, if there were no taxis here on this rank at 3 o'clock in the morning, we can see a nightclub opposite. A lot of people come out of that nightclub around that time. There would just be loads of people here on this high street. and no way to get them home. It would be absolute chaos, wouldn't it?
It definitely would be a chaos, and it will be a problem for all concerned.
But you feel like that could be the only way for the police to take your concerns seriously if you were to do that?
I think that is the one way of showing our frustration with the situation, yes.
We speak now to Mudassar Yassin, who is Secretary of the St Albans and Harpenden Taxi Association. Morning, Mudassar. What's the taxi driver's beef?
Hi, morning. Yeah, we don't actually have any beef in that sort of terms. What we're asking for is a little bit more help when we do require it. Taxi drivers play a pivotal role over the weekend nights in dispersing members of public from the city centre. And when we do, and that, I suppose that does help the police with their job as well. When we do require help, when we need assistance, we just like the police to turn up at a reasonable time and not take up to 45 minutes to, just call you back. That's what we seem to.
Is that what you're experiencing? Because the gentleman who spoke to Justin, when he said 15 minutes, I know it's not quick enough to get someone who's legged it, but I did think that 15 minutes was actually all right for a police to turn up.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. 15 minutes is not. I mean, it's not brilliant, but it's not bad either. But on most occasions, we have to wait over 45 minutes for someone to turn up. And, in the past, we had taxi drivers being called up a couple hours later and asked them, are you okay? Do you need any assistance now? And they've laughed at that. And those very same drivers now don't ring up the police at all now. And they're just, like the driver said, they're resigned to losing that fare or being beaten up or wherever it takes.
What kind of stuff is happening? Is it primarily people just doing a runner? Or is there, you just hinted there that there was violence?
No, there is violence involved. In the last couple of times that we have highlighted. I mean, see, the thing is, what happened was we had a forum just recently with the council and the police, and a lot of issues got brought up there. And as a result, we put onto our forums, which we have about 180-odd drivers on those forums, that, if you're having incidents, please take a photo and report it to us. And just in the last 2 weeks, we've had 3 incidents that have been reported, and we've highlighted all 3 of those, and as a result, we're talking to you now. So, these issues are on a regular basis, and, just because drivers don't feel that the police are going to be able to help them, and they don't want to take 2-3 hours out afterwards, or during their shift to go and make a statement, because that, and their livelihood is very tight at the moment, especially with the amount of taxis that we have in St Albans.
This strike, I guess you would call it, in the early hours of the weekend, is that going to happen? And if so, when? And what effect are you hoping it will have?
Iain, be honest with you, I don't know if we're going to go for a strike. It really depends on what the police do now. I mean, what Chief Inspector Townsend has said is, I don't agree with anything. He talks about the additional rank being helpful to us. And last year I spoke to you when we had the 24-hour strike in regards to that. And that was all down to our safety, not being taken into consideration. And now with the Chief Inspector saying that, they respond to us very quickly. Like I said, on majority of the occasions, we don't get the response in time.
Stay there. We've got a statement. Who's the statement from,
This is
Catherine?
from Mike Lovelady, who's the head of Legal, Democratic and Regulatory Services at St Albans District Council.
Yeah.
I know, isn't that a nice name?
What a great name.
Here's what he says, and we'd be eager to get your feedback on this one, Mudassar.
Sure.
We're aware of the recent incident at the St Peter's Street taxi rank. We work with the police and other partners on public safety and crime prevention in the district. Along with our partners, we operate a CCTV scheme in the centre of St Albans that's used to monitor the streets and detect crime. We also jointly fund a taxi marshal scheme at the St Peter's Street taxi rank to help ensure the safety of taxi drivers and customers using the rank. The police, taxi marshals and CCTV operators all communicate by linked radios to help assist in responding to any incident quickly. So that's him saying what they're doing. But this is what he's saying they might do. We're always willing to consider new ways of working in partnership with taxi drivers to help them feel more secure. With this in mind, we offered taxi drivers the opportunity of participating in a council-funded trial of an in-taxi CCTV scheme a few years ago. Other local authorities run similar schemes. Our offer was declined at the time, but we're happy to consider a trial again if the taxi drivers are willing to take part. Do you fancy that?
Yeah, no, and they say that we declined it. We did not decline it. We put it into our newsletter, which we sent to all our drivers, regardless of whether members or non-members, and no one responded back to us. So, we can't say to drivers, you have to put this in. It's up to it's their own decision if they want to put that on CCTV in. And we highly recommend it, to be honest with you. So we don't have a problem with that.
Do you drive a cab, Mudassir?
I do, yeah.
Have you got CCTV in yours?
No, I haven't. I mean...
So you recommend it, but you don't have it in yours?
No. See, I recommend it, but look... but
you don't do it yourself?
No, Ian, listen. 4 years ago, I used to work weekend nights, and I had a person put a knife to my throat and was called Take My Money. Now, luckily, the police turned up, and they did a good job of that, and they arrested the person who's been put down. He's probably just come out now. Now... I stopped working the weekend nights as a result of that issue.
Yeah, I remember you saying, yeah.
Now, if drivers want to work on weekend nights, I would recommend that they do have CCTV. On the week, during the days, you can try and handle the situation. Not to say that we don't get issues, but we do. But we try and handle it in it's different to doing it on the weekend night.
Mudassir, listen, it's good to talk to you. I appreciate the work that you and your colleagues do, and it seems nuts to me that anyone would threaten or even beat up a cab driver. Mudassir, thank you very much indeed. Oh.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's looking quite busy in Bedford now. Bromham Road's looking slow eastbound between the A428 and Shakespeare Road. Also in Little Haddam on the A120, that's looking slow in both directions at Albury Road. In Cheshunt, the A10 Great Cambridge Road is slow southbound from College Road towards the Winterson Churchill Way. And the A10 southbound has queues between Baltimore Lane and Southbury Road. On the A1 southbound, there are queues between the Holiday Inn and Stirling Corner. But looking at the M25 and the M1 and the A1M on the speed sensors, they're all moving absolutely fine at the moment. On the trains, the 8:40 service from Luton to Bedford has been cancelled. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Across beds, hearts and bugs.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
It's 8:30, I'm Simon Oxley. The family of Habib Ullah have appealed for calm in High Wycombe after 2 nights of vandalism. Police have stepped up patrols after attacks being linked to the death of Mr Ullah in 2008 after being stopped and searched by police. An inquest this week recorded a verdict of misadventure. A report into care and standards at Milton Keynes Hospital says it requires improvement despite being rated good in 6 out of 8 areas. 2 men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday evening, and taxi drivers in St Albans are threatening to boycott the city centre in the early hours because of safety fears.
Three Counties Sports.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Newcastle's Papi Cisse has accepted an FA charge of spitting at Manchester United defender Johnny Evans. Cisse has issued a full apology. He faces a 7-match ban, but Evans denies spitting at Cisse and is yet to respond formally to the charge. In tomorrow's football, third-place Watford go to Wolves in the Championship. The Hornets are just a point off the top, but manager Slavisa Jokanovic says he can handle the pressure.
There's many pressure in the football. I prefer to have this kind of the pressure for fighting for top of the table. What is another kind of the pressure where we must to save the team for don't relegate or something same.
In League One, MK Dons will make a decision on the fitness of goalkeeper David Martin later today, ahead of the home match with promotion rivals Preston. Martin has missed the last 5 games. Lee Hodgson is set to replace suspended skipper Dean Lewington. In League 2, third-placed Wycombe go to Southend. Wanderers have failed to overturn Matt McClure's midweek red card. Luton host Morecambe with Elliot Justin set to continue in goal as Mark Tyler faces a scan on a knee injury. Here's manager John Still.
We're going to have a scan now. We've waited to see how it's got a lot better, but not quite right yet. So we'll have a scan and we'll have a look. But Elliot's done fine. I think he's got a good future, Elliot. He's done very well.
And Stevenage are at home to Newport. The Borough have signed former Luton midfielder Keith Keane on loan from Preston. And Andy Murray leads Britain in their Davis Cup tie against the USA, which starts in Glasgow at lunchtime. Murray opens against Donald Young in today's singles. BBC Three Counties News and Sport. The next full bulletin is at 9.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
That's my boys. Wow. As World Book Day.
What lovely
outfits.
This is my favourite child. That one. It is. I mean, I'm not going to say which one. You know which one, Kels. I'm not going to say which one.
You have a favourite child?
Yeah, of course I do.
What?
Yeah.
There's mine.
Now, who's
What
cuter?
the hell is she?
My favourite child or Catherine's daughter?
What is she?
She is Lucy from
A
The Lion, the
girl.
Witch and the Wardrobe. She's been evacuated. Can't you see? The gas mask box,
Right.
the beret.
Oh, yes. Now you say
suitcase.
that. I know exactly what she was.
Kath, have a look at mine.
Well done.
Yeah?
Oh!
Whose is the best?
I feel
Jonathan?
like I'm in the middle of some kind of hideous battle between parents.
Who is? No, you're not. But you're.
No, but this isn't my best one.
Oh.
This is my best one. Whose is the cutest?
Hang on.
I really don't want to be drawn on this.
Okay, mine. That's fine. You gave me the wink, and that's fine.
Please don't draw me on this.
Now, remember when you came to my wedding, so you saw me kind of make...
I do.
Oh.
I do remember your wedding. Well, actually, I don't remember much of it.
Hey! It's World Book Day. It was yesterday, and we've been talking about this silly woman who sent her boy, 11-year-old son, dressed up as Christian Grey from the erotic series 50 Shades Thereof.
Yes.
You're speaking to her.
Yes. At 9 o'clock this morning, you'll hear from the lady herself, and I'll be asking on the big phone-in, do you think there's anything wrong with an 11-year-old boy dressing as Christian Grey? A mother has been criticised after sending her 11-year-old son to school dressed as the erotic S&M character Christian Grey as part of World Book Day.
Right, use that description and ask your question again.
Do you think there's anything wrong? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the mother says there's absolutely nothing wrong with it whatsoever.
Is she dead common?
His costume included a grey suit, slicked black hair, an eye mask and a set of cable ties. The mother, Nicola Scholes, says that other children were dressed as serial killers, so she doesn't understand why people are upset by her son Liam's outfit. Nicola, who's a primary school teacher herself, was disappointed to hear from the school that Liam had been banned from the school photos. Well, she has spoken to me this morning. I'll play you my interview with her.
Is she common?
You can judge for yourself from 9, and I'd like to hear from you. Do you think there's anything wrong with an 11-year-old boy dressing as Christian Grey? Or frankly, are we just getting a bit too... Are we just...
Change the question to the bit about the S&M perverts.
Are we just getting a little bit uptight? Are we losing our sense of humour?
We're getting our knickers in a twist, because he likes that.
Do you think there's anything wrong with an 11-year-old boy dressing as the S&M character Christian Grey?
How do you see?
08459 455 555. Your calls from 9.
Call 08459 455 555.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
I look forward to listening to that interview. Justin.
Hey, boss.
You've taken this to the street. We'll do a recap in a second, but this is the story that's got us all arguing away. 11-year-old dressed... I can't wait to hear that interview. An 11-year-old dressed up as Christian Grey, the S&M pervert from 50 Shades Thereof. And this morning you went, well, what's the problem?
Well, I said,
what's the problem?
Hang on. Other
Fact,
kids,
not fiction, mate.
Other kids are going to school dressed up as Dexter, correct?
Right, yeah.
Who is a serial killer.
From a TV
He's a serial
series.
killer, and Christian Grey, again, is just a character. They are both characters. What is the difference between those two?
Well, no.
Well, one will kill you, and the
Yeah.
other one will give you a damn good thrashing.
Listen, I think they're both... All right, girls, calm down.
Chill out.
I think they are both inappropriate.
Oh, so they're both inappropriate. I was making a comparison.
No, you didn't. You said what's wrong with that before you knew about someone going as Dexter, mate. Fact, not
I
fiction.
just think it's just...
I know that Christian Grey is your psychological hero.
Yes. I can see it being inappropriate, but at the same time, this is just a character. That's all it is.
Yeah, in an adult book.
Okay. Boss?
You might as well. What's a wife? A 12-year-old girl goes dressed up as, I don't know, Emmanuel or Deep Throat or something.
Wow. No, come on.
Gosh.
I meant the Deep Throat from All the President's Men, of course.
Iain, I've taken this one to the streets. I've even managed to get a quick word at the end with a man who had a pizza box over his head on the streets of Harpenden this morning.
Wow, did you really?
I
Because I've been
did.
asking you to get one of those phrases.
Yes, I know.
That's great.
So,
well tracked down.
Here's what people had to say when I took it to the streets.
taking it to the streets with J-Dog.
Madam, what are your kids going dressed up as today?
She's Little Red Riding Hood and he's just himself.
Would you send your boy, how old's your boy, by the way?
10.
Would you send him to school dressed up as Christian Grey?
No, I wouldn't. I've not read 50 Shades of Grey. Neither have I watched it, but I've got people who've talked about it and it's not what I encourage my kids to do.
Do you think it's disgusting?
It is. From stories that I've heard, it is disgusting.
Take care.
It's inappropriate because I've read the books, I've seen the film, and anyone under the age of 18 involved in it, I think is very inappropriate.
So never in a million years would you think about dressing up your boy as Christian Grey?
No, never.
Inappropriate.
Seriously?
Yes.
Boss, you've got a young daughter, but if you had a son who was 11 years old and it was World Book Day, would you send him to school dressed up as Christian Grey?
No, it's a bit weird, that one, isn't it?
So the parents that have done that, let's get straight to the point here. You're a parent yourself. The parents that have sent him to school dressed up as Christian Grey, are they bad parents?
Yeah.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Good.
I know that you're on the high street here in Harpenden with a pizza box over your head, but can I ask you a quick question? Is that okay?
Yeah.
An 11-year-old boy has gone dressed up to school for World Book Day as Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. What do you think about that?
I can't say it's wrong, but it depends, you know. It's.
Would you send your child to school dressed up as Christian Grey?
No, I would not.
How long you got that box over your head for?
For 2 hours.
2 hours, okay. I'll leave you to it. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Hey! Justin, you can't seriously think it's acceptable. Seriously.
In all seriousness, no. Looking at the facts, I think it's the extras. It's the extras. If he went to school in a suit and the suit only, I think maybe that would have been deemed as a bit of fun. But it's the extras.
No, it's the whole character. The Christian Grey character is inappropriate. By the way, I'm loving this album. The Christian Grey character is completely inappropriate for an 11-year-old to go dressed up as.
So, anything to do with serial killers? I mean, let's just say somebody goes to school then dressed up as Henry VIII. Bit brutal, wasn't he? Is that wrong as well?
Well, what? Okay, what book was Henry VIII in?
Well, I'm just giving you an example.
It's World Book
Dexter.
Day. What book was Dexter in? That's wrong on 2 counts.
Okay.
A, he was a murderer, and B, he's not a book.
Where do you draw the line? That's all I'm saying.
Well, I draw the line it's certainly some way before Christian Grey. Christian Grey is definitely on the wrong side of the line.
Have you seen some of those outfits that kids go to school in? They look ridiculous. That kid, to be fair, he looks smart.
What's on your show tomorrow, Jess?
On the show tomorrow, we have the UK and American charts from this weekend in 1980 and songs that remind you of your very first date with your wife or your husband. Somebody I spoke to yesterday in Barton, their first date with their now husband was at Shillington Football Club.
Oh, dear. Dearie me. And what song did they associate with that?
You'll never guess.
Yeah.
Eric Clapton, Bad Love.
Hey, the song I associate with my wife is The Day We Went to Bangor.
Clever.
Not really. I think it was in the charts at the time we got together. I don't know. Any texts before I go to Barbara?
Yeah, loads.
Go on, give us a couple of texts.
Earlier on we played David Savage's garage remix of Yo We're Wow.
Yes.
Barry from Milton Keynes wants a copy. He says, better than any burglar alarm, people will think that there is a nutter at home.
Yes, okay, yes, thank you.
Angela suggests Old Shep for maudlin songs.
Oh, and that's, yes.
And, earlier on you corrected someone who suggested that Richie Valens sang...
Tell Laura I love her.
James says, I'm correct, and in Wolverton. He recorded it in 1960 for the UK, actually.
Richie Valens did a version of Tell Laura I Love Her?
Apparently.
Well, who had the hit with that? That wasn't who had the hit.
No.
Hang on.
Terry by Twinkle, or is that Twinkle by Terry?
That's Twinkle by Terry. Oh, no, fair play. Richie Valens did it. OK, yeah, I apologise, sir.
Heather in Barton Clay said Twinkle. And loads of people are talking about, a song called Honey, but I think Barbara and Stephen are just going to
Honey, come back, Morning, Barbara.
Good morning.
Honey by Bobby Goldsborough.
Yeah.
Huge hit, I'm going to say 1968 or 68.
68, yeah.
I'd never really listened to the lyrics. Is it about someone dying?
Yeah, my late Well, donkeys years ago, my late boyfriend died of cancer, and that was a particular tune at that time was Top of the Pops.
Blimey.
So it kept on playing, and every time it played, I used to cry my eyes out.
Oh, no.
But that was 42 years ago.
Does it still have that effect on you now?
On occasion.
Yeah. And isn't it funny how, you know, a 3-minute pop song can just can link to us in quite a significant way?
Yeah, well, that was 42 years. And that was 44 years ago. I've been married 42 now, so been not too bad.
I'm trying to find... OK, I've got the lyrics here. Oh, gosh, look. Will it upset you if I read them?
No, okay. Carry on.
She wrecked the car and she was sad and so afraid I'd be mad. But what the heck, though I pretended hard to be. Guess you could say she saw through me. Where's the bit where she dies?
Oh, she dies. Don't worry.
Here we go. One day, while I was not at home, while she was there and all alone, the angels came
and took her away.
Now all I have is memories of honey, and I wake up nights and call her name. Now my life's an empty stage where honey lived and honey played.
That's right.
And love grew up, and a small cloud passes overhead and cries down on the flower bed that honey loved.
Yeah.
Barbara, thank you very much.
That's quite right.
Have a good weekend.
And you, my love. Bye.
Ta-ta, bye-bye. Oh, blimey. Are there any modern equivalents of
I heard
songs?
one a couple of weeks ago.
We'll find out what it is after this.
Travel news for beds, cards and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Looking at the motorways, there's no reports of any delays at the moment, but it's quite busy in Cheshunt on the Great Cambridge Road. It's looking slow from College Road towards Winston Churchill Way. And in Little Haddam as well, the A120 is busy in both directions at Albury Road. In Clophill, the A6 Bedford Road's looking slow approaching the roundabout at the A507. And in High Wycombe on the A40 London Road, that's looking very busy at the junction for Kings Road. On the A405 North Orbital Road at Bricket Wood, there's queues around the M25 junction 21A roundabout. And looking at the train departure boards, there's no major delays coming up at the moment. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much. Last 15 minutes of the show, 08 459 455 555. So far, no one has been able to defend an 11-year-old being dressed as Christian Grey. If you think you can, give us a call now. Right, it's 8:45. It's Friday, the 6th of March. I'm Iain Lee. These are your headlines on BBC Three Counties Radio. The family of Habib Ullah have appealed for calm in High Wycombe after 2 nights of vandalism. A report into care and standards at Milton Keynes Hospital says it requires improvement despite being rated good in some areas. And 2 men have been taken to hospital with serious injuries after being stabbed during a fight in Kempston yesterday evening. David, stay there. We'll come to you straight after the weather with Elizabeth Rizzini.
Beds, Herts and Bucks weather.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
Hello, very good morning to you. It's a bit of a cloudy start. There's plenty of cloud out there at the moment, but it will gradually brighten up. We'll see some lovely spells of sunshine. All in all, it will turn out to be a nice day across the 3 counties. Lots of sunny spells in this afternoon. Top temperatures today up to 12 or 13 degrees, 55 in Fahrenheit, just a light to moderate south-westerly breeze. Now, as we head through into tonight, the clear skies, but we're still in the mild air, so temperatures won't drop off too far, down to around 5 or 6 degrees. And then tomorrow, beautiful spring-like day, lots of sunshine around. We could be looking at temperatures climbing even further, perhaps to 14 or 15, even 16 degrees, which is 61 in Fahrenheit. It's been a good while since we've seen that. So yeah, a lovely day, a little bit breezy, mind, southwesterly wind. Sunday not quite as good because it is going to turn really quite cloudy through the day, but temperatures still into double figures. So all in all, it's a fairly decent weekend. That's the forecast.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Every weekday morning.
Coming up at 9 on the Big Phone In this morning, is it a good idea to make jobless teenagers work for their benefits? How would you like this country to stand up to President Putin? Are you surprised to see British people being blatantly racist?
The JVS Show.
I think we've got to get over this issue about racism doesn't exist. It has existed. It will probably carry on existing.
What I wanted to say is they've got this completely the wrong way around.
You know, that is also true. That is also true.
You will always get some, but they are such a minority.
I think the man's a buffoon.
Get him up, get him out of bed, give him a sense of purpose.
The JVS Show.
Do you think we have got to, as a country, start taking this issue more seriously?
Every weekday morning on BBC Three Counties Radio.
We've been talking this morning a lot about morbid songs where people die or are rendered disabled.
Yes.
Severely in many cases. David has got one. Morning, David.
Hi there.
What's the song you got?
Teen Angel.
Now,
You know the one?
I vaguely remember Teen Angel. Who sang it?
I can't quite recall. I've got an idea of it in American Graffiti, but I couldn't swear to it.
Okay, can you give us a snatch?
I could give you the whole song if you wish.
Let's David, away you go, sir.
Okie doke. I'm a smoker, so I apologise in advance. Okay, here we go. That fateful night, the car stalled upon the railroad track. I pulled you out and we were saved, but you went running back. Teen angel, can you hear me? Teen angel, can you see me? Are you somewhere up above, and am I still your own true love? What was it you were looking for that took your life that night? They said they found my high school ring clutched in your fingers tight. Teen angel, can you hear me? Teen angel, can you see me? Are you somewhere up above, and am I still your own true love? Just sweet 16, and now you're gone. They've taken you away. I'll never kiss your lips again. They buried you today. Teen angel, can you hear me? Teen angel, can you see me? Are you somewhere up above, and am I still your own true love?
Oh,
teen angel, answer me, do. There you go.
Have you finished?
I am.
Well, first of all, a slow hand clap, not out of rudeness, out of respect for the Teen Angel. Hey,
Yes.
that's flipping miserable, isn't it?
Just a bit.
Well, David, are you a professional singer?
No, but I used to sing a lot when I worked in a factory.
What,
Because we used to have...
making songs? The Hit
They would
Factory?
a factory down in, not far from Feltham.
That one.
They used to make petter engines, that was it, petters. And they used to put the radio on for a couple of hours a day.
Yeah.
And I'd join in with every one.
Hey. Now, be honest, David. Did everyone enjoy your singing, or did some people say, "Oi, David, shut up"?
I never got that.
No.
No,
Well,
I'm not... sorry?
No, I was to say, you've got a cracking voice. I wouldn't have known you were a smoker unless I was stood in front of you inhaling the breath.
Yeah, well, I'm actually getting a bit of stage fright at the moment. I'm shaking all over.
Oh, mate, shaking all over.
That's the one.
Don't shake all over, David. That was absolutely brilliant. Anytime you want to sing a song about a teenager dying, you're more than welcome to give us a call.
Yeah, well, I can give you another one.
Not now.
No, not now.
Not now. Next week, David.
Yeah.
What? Give us a tease, though. What are you going to call us with next week?
Buddy Holly. Ways.
Beautiful, David. One of my favourites by Mr. Holly. He was good, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. Isn't it funny, right? The amount of talent that's out there that has no outlet. Well, now David's got an outlet. It's BBC Three Counties Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. That's what we do.
Let's have a look at some of the texts.
Yeah, go on. I really enjoyed that, David. Thank you. Now, bless him getting nervous.
Ian Lee. This is from Kate.
Yep.
Please learn how to pronounce the word text properly. It's just the word text with an S at the end. Simple, just like you, really, says Kate on the Texas.
Well, Kate, I'm doing it. Texas, thank you.
Timmy Milton Keynes, Sad Songs. Billie Holiday, Strange Fruit. Now...
Well, we all
that
know
song
what
is about
that's
lynching. That is, oh my goodness.
That's about racism and murder.
And also, some people phoning you, quite a lot of them.
Hey, guys.
Steve in Watford.
Morning, Steve.
Edward in Blunham.
Edward.
Talented Valerie. Just to correct Ian, the TV series Dexter is based on books with the same title. Jeff Lindsay, Dexter Morgan.
Jeff Lynne?
No, it's called Darkly Dreaming Dexter, 2004 novel by Jeff Lindsay. Get it right.
Yeah, all right, but I bet... OK, then you have to ask the mum that dressed the kid up as Dexter. Did you read the books? Oh, you got the DVD box set? Home. If they've based it on the TV series, then it doesn't count.
And take the knives with you.
I never watched Dexter. I don't like the idea. And actually, I watched a bit and I thought it was ridiculous. So it's a serial killer and we're supposed to be rooting for him.
He was righteous.
The ending was rubbish, apparently.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Baz is on the line. Morning, Baz.
Morning there, sir. How are you?
Well, I'm feeling miserable as sin.
Well, if you can tell me the shop you went in to buy the last record you was playing, or tape you was playing,
what?
Could you tell me the name of the shop, please? Because I really want to avoid that.
So, what? Whoa, Bazerman! Which record? You don't mean this, do you? Hang on, you don't mean this?
No, there's a singer on there singing.
He means David.
Oh, the last caller?
Yeah.
Oh, Bazerman. Nay, and thrice nay, to quote Mr. Howard.
Where got that from? I want to avoid that.
I thought he had a cracking set of lungs on him, that fella.
So what are you going to sing as Bazerman?
Blobberlop. Blobberlop. Mr.
What's Blobberlob?
He's singing. Are you singing Mr. Blobby?
Blobberlop.
Get out of here, Bazerman. What on earth? He's banned for the rest of the week.
What a joker.
We'll lift the ban on Monday, but he's banned for the rest of the week on this show.
You were asking about songs, and I've put one in for you. Now, I heard this the other week. Yeah, you were. Is there a modern version about wrong songs?
Oh, yeah.
Tim McGraw, right? It's called...
Ali McGraw's son.
Yeah. Don't Take the Girl. It's a really sad song.
Country.
Of course it is.
New country.
5 Chords and the Truth.
Hey.
Johnny's daddy was taking him fishing.
Wait for it.
He was 8 years old.
Nope.
A little girl came through the front gate, holding a fishing pole.
Hey.
His dad looked down and smiled. Said, we can't leave her behind. Leave her behind. Son, I know you don't want her to go, but someday you'll change your mind. And Johnny said, take Jimmy Johnson, take Tommy Thompson.
No, this is the sad bit.
Take my best friend Bo.
Do you know what's going to happen with this girl?
She's going to die.
No, wait. Of course she is, but wait.
Hang on, he's offering his best friend. Well, that's a bit mean.
I don't think songs should be sad.
Country songs are always sad.
There's no need.
But don't take the girl, come on.
Daddy, please don't take.
Which girl? What's she dying of?
No, she's not dying yet. Wait.
How much longer have we got to wait?
She grows up.
This finishes at 9 o'clock, this show.
So was she an orphan?
Listen.
I don't get it.
He's prepared to sacrifice his best...
Same sweet girl. 10 years down the road.
Does she die in this verse? Okay, well that's...
Come on, no. 10 years down the road, what's going to happen?
I think I'm going to die in this
I
verse.
can't... There's another 2.5 minutes of this.
Come on. The picture show. Stranger came and pulled a gun. Grabbed her by the arm.
It's escalating.
Batman fella, isn't it?
Wow.
Said if you do what I tell you to, there won't be any harm.
Just tell me, does she do what...
Wait, now he's saying don't take the girl. See,
If she doesn't die here,
first
I'm
he's
going to be
saying don't
furious.
take her fishing, now he's saying don't hurt her, you can have my wallet and all that.
When does she die? What does she die of?
Next verse.
Does she die in this?
Wait, no.
Okay, well,
she dies in the worst way.
Well, I mean,
the second worst way.
Does she get cancer?
No.
Does she get disease?
No.
She dies giving birth to his girl, his daughter. Yeah, she dies giving birth to his daughter, of course.
Why would you write that down?
Don't take the girl.
Well, I tell you, the worst crime of Tim McGraw there is actually destroying country music, which is a fine tradition of music, and he's murdered it. Not only has he murdered a woman in a song, he's murdered the genre of music.
If you take that out of country music, there ain't no country music. Here we go. Okay.
5 years down the road.
So she's 24, okay.
There's gonna be a little one, and she says it's time to go.
Jonathan's loving this, look, because he knows that his show can only be brilliant after. Even if he did a turkey, it'd be better than this.
Listen, what's the saddest song?
Listen.
'Cause his mama's fading fast.
She's fading fast.
Johnny hit his knees, and there he prayed.
Yeah, we got it. He's praying. Isn't it?
Every breath you gave me, take the heart from my chest.
Have a
Can
great
we end
weekend,
on a
guys.
high? Can we do something else?
There isn't
quickly?
time. Catherine
What
is
about the boa constrictor?
Catherine
Can we
has
squeeze
once
that in?
again screwed up the timing of the show.
Take me out of this world.
Have a great weekend, guys. I don't know how JVS is going to turn this around.
Johnny's daddy was taking in fishing when he was 8 years old.
I do it in head.
Travel news for beds, cards, and bugs.
BBC Three Counties Radio.
In Little Haddam on the A120, that's looking slow in both directions at Aubrey Road. And looking at the speed sensors on the A41 eastbound at Kings Langley, it's looking quite slow from the Hemel Hempstead turn off towards the M25 junction 20 for Kings Langley. Also on the North Aubrey Road, it's looking busy around the M25 junction 21A roundabout. But actually on the M25, there are no major delays. And on the speed sensors, it looks really clear on the M1 and the A1M as well. The A40 London Road and High Wycombe's very slow at Kings Road, but no delays at the moment on the M40 or on the train departure board. Samantha Bruff, BBC Three Counties Radio.
Sammy, thank you very much indeed. Don't forget there'll be a new podcast in a few hours. Don't worry, that won't be in it. You can get it by going to the Three Counties website, and it'll be on iTunes a few hours later. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Dealey. That's it. That's your lot. JVS is up next, but from all of us until Monday morning at 6 o'clock. Ta-ta.
Local and vocal across beds, hearts and bucks.
This is BBC Three Counties Radio.
Thank you, Iain. Dry your eyes, everyone. Good morning. It's the JVS show. I'm Jonathan Vernon Smith. It's Friday, it's 9 o'clock, and on today's Big Phone In, do you think there's anything wrong with an 11-year-old boy dressing as Christian Grey? A mother has been